Welcome to Fullerton College football on Sportsnet, USA.net. Hey, I'm Mark Pavlovich along with Corey Neyland and Ryan Osborn. We are the voices of Fullerton College football. And today's matchup takes your Hornets 5-0 against San Diego Mesa 3-2. Guys, this is the mystery game. This is the game that could be the misstep in the mud, and the Hornets walk out of here with their first blemish of the year.
And you said it before the broadcast, Mark, the Fullerton offense has to be the team that comes up and steps up because this is a defensive game. The Olympians are 10th in rushing yards given up allowed and 5th overall in total yards this season in the first 5 games.
Michael Wakapuna's got to step up on the offensive side. I think Big Elvis has to do it. Garnett Davis III has to look for something. And defensively, you've got to hope that Brian Crook's defense gives you the big shutout tonight that they've been throwing at everybody, Ryan Osborn, this entire season. So, Corey, it'll be an exciting game to watch. We'll see how these first 5 minutes play out because I'm going to say in tonight's game, the first 5 minutes of this first quarter is going to dictate the outcome of the entire game.
Yeah, both these teams are top 3 in points per game allowed. Fullerton is number 1 with 11 points per game, and San Diego Mesa is number 3 with 16 points per game.
San Diego Mesa will receive. Tucker is back deep for San Diego, so we'll see what happens. They're going to have a single deep man. He's going to stand at the 5-yard line. So San Diego looking to strike first, 3-2 in conference against the Hornets, 5-0. Hornets number 4 in the state of California, the rankings right now. It's a beautiful night here at San Diego Mesa, 7 o'clock on a Thursday. Boy, howdy, we're going to look ugly tomorrow morning here at Sportsnet, USA.net.
Number 60, Carl VORL, will be kicking off for the Hornets. Jaleel Tucker deep.
Tucker takes it at the 2. Looks to cut to the outside. Steps over at the 20. Stays on his feet. Almost up the 30. He crosses the 30. Then the scrum begins. They're going to mark him down at the 31. Great field position to start this game off for San Diego Mesa.
Mark, you were mentioning it. This is a team in Fullerton. If that defense is going to carry them, you look at the defensive line. You mentioned it before the broadcast. The defensive line has set the tone, so have the linebackers. But in this one, you've got to set that outside edge against the Olympians.
And setting the outside edge, you've got to watch for number 13. Now, they take a couple players off the field for San Diego and replace them quickly, Corey Neyland, so we'll see what happens. James Oden is in at quarterback for San Diego Mesa. Next to him is Danny Davis, the running back. So Davis at running back, Odom at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 31 for San Diego. Straight up the middle, off tackle. Nice little run there by Danny Davis, the big running back. Gets a gain of about, see where they're going to mark it. Yeah, it's about a gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Odom stays at quarterback.
And that's Carlo Torres on the left side, Jordan Crawford, Ant Harris, and Eric Hale on the far side of your line.
Kadir to the near side of the field. Watch him. He's going to be the one. The Hornets look like they want to bring pressure. Odom looks at him. Odom throws it out in the flat. Short arms it out in the flat. And had Jordan Young out there on a wing. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 for San Diego Mesa.
Good pressure by Carlo Torres on that left side. Linebackers for the Hornets in the middle will be Chris Harm. On that far side, Biso and Jeremiah McNeely, who leads the team in tackles and also one of the tops in the SCFA.
San Diego goes 5 wide. Burns goes to the far side of the field. He'll be in the slot. Watch him. We've got speed burners on both sides of the field. Big 3rd down and 7. Odom looks over the defense. They bring 4. Odom gets hit right over there. And, of course, No tackle, and you've got to tie people up when you get hit. And of course, the young man that I was talking about, Corey Neyland, Gio Burns, it wasn't a Gio Burns caught the ball. Just mentioned him in the slot on the far side of the field.
It was a nice job by Odom to wait for the clear out. It looked like Jope brought him to the outside and cleared out that middle, and Burns came from behind and picked up that drag.
Salyunate, Kadar Jope, and Burns stack on the right side of the field. First down and 10. Right at the 43-yard line. Odom goes back. They go with the double stack. Throw it to the outside. Nice going down on your knees if you're Kadar and make the catch on the play.
Yeah, so Kadir Jope did a nice job again. Fullerton is playing that zone to start off the ball game.
So Odom brings him back out quickly. Second down and 5 at the 38. Almost a jump, not. Odom finds an opening, takes off running, gets a block in the middle of the field. Doesn't go down at the 20. Corey says there's holding at the 28-yard line. We'll see if they bring it back.
And it looked to be against Danny Davis, who held Chris Harm, gave him a little hug at the 30-yard line. And that'll bring it back from the spot of the foul.
Holding, number 27, offense, 10-yard penalty from the start of the foul. Replay, second down.
So Danny Davis does have it called against him. Just a little hug. So the referee marks it at the 38.
Ball now at the 38-yard line.
Odom looks over. Second down and a long 5.5 for Mesa. Fullerton comes up, get a little walk up. Odom pump fakes, and Corey, it was one of those quick shots. Couldn't get a quick shot. Two people holding on to each other. No real action at the end, no flags, a necessity by the officials, not called.
And that's Eric Hill and Carlo Torres get credit for the half a sack each.
So they flip Burns to the far side. Godar's going to stay here to the near side. Third down and 10 for Mesa. They were on the move. Fullerton comes up. Big jump. It'll be a free play. Odom gets hit. Going down deep. Incomplete pass. Both offense and defense on the route wanted a call. There was no call.
But it'll bring up, instead of a third down and 10, it'll be 3rd and 5, Jeremiah McNeely. McNeely jumps, so they get 3rd and 5, more manageable.
After the penalty, it's going to be 3rd and 5.
So they'll keep Burns to the far side of the field. He was the one that made the big catch. Well, watch what Odom does this times around. This is where you get that quick hitter. Somebody coming across the middle. They're going to come again. They're going to try and be on top of the quarterback. He looks over to the sidelines, checks it down. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Right at the 38, Odom looks over the defense. San Diego waits to see if Fullerton reacts. Odom takes off running again. This time he wants the block, uses the block, stays on his feet, goes down, gets finally taken down on a beautiful run at the 21.
So two runs, 30 yards for Odom on this possession.
Hornet down on the field, Corey. I'm not sure who it is.
And that's going to be Ant Harris. So that interior defensive lineman for the Hornets, Ant, is a big key in their defense and clogging up that middle. Let's hope the young man is okay.
Well, we were talking about how this could be that surprise game for the Hornets. You look at Odom this year, completes about 52% of his passes. He's 46 of 89 for 503 yards. Has done pretty well out there as a quarterback this season. Look at the rushing attack, nothing spectacular, but you look at Kadar up there, Corey. 21 receptions in 5 games. He averages a little over 4 yards a catch every time he gets it, 55 yards a game, and he's got 5 touchdowns. His longest pass play, 48 yards.
And the Hornets again on defense, first in the SCFA in points allowed, is giving up only 11. They're first in rushing. And overall, they're third in total defense, 247 yards given up in 5 games thus far.
They've got to find a way so far in this game to make a stop. And, of course, you think about the whole thing. If you get in field goal range, Escudero can get it through the uprights for you.
Well, they're a team that's first in red zone percentage, whether they're scoring a touchdown or kicking a field goal, 95% once they get into the red zone. They're at the 21 now.
And we'll wait and see with 11:41 to go. Well, a little stoppage time out here. Young man down in the field. And they always try to take caution because Fullerton has the best athletic trainers as a group in the state of California.
And forgive me, that wasn't Ant Harris, that was Terrence Hansbrough.
Okay.
So, sorry to scare people that it was Ant Harris, it was actually Terrence Hansbrough.
So it'll be first down and 10 for San Diego, right at the 20. Odom comes back out at quarterback. Danny Davis in at running back. Now they put Burns to the near side of the field. First down and 10 at the 20 for the team in blue and gold. Nice little end around. Block on the outside. Gain of 4 on the play. They all take that down to about the 16.
Tucker on a sweep left.
So Tucker, 6-foot freshman out of Lincoln High School, takes the end around for San Diego.
Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6 from the 17.
Watch the near side of the field. They take their tight ends, go to the short side of the field. Odom looks back, steps up. Nobody's going to get him. Odom takes off for the outside. He's got the sticks. Touchdown, San Diego Mesa.
So again, that's what they do. They score once they get into the red zone, an 18-yard rush. But this is something that San Diego Mesa has done all year. They start quickly. Their trouble is they've had a hard time finishing. And in the man-to-man defense that Fullerton was running, the lanes were open for Odom to take off and score.
So Mauricio Escudero now comes in. Almost stays perfect. That's now number 12 out of 13 attempts for extra points. And it's San Diego 7, Fullerton 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Don't forget, no matter where you're at, be it San Diego or Fullerton, look for your local discount market. For us in Fullerton, it's Discount Market on Raymond between Chapman and Commonwealth Avenue. We were there just earlier today. That's where we picked up some water and some treats and took that ride down to San Diego Mesa. No better deals, no better market in Southern California. Discount Market of Fullerton on Raymond between Commonwealth and Chapman.
So 3 carries, 45 yards for Odom on that series. Christian Stewart and Kadari Kearns. Actually, it's Jeremy Gonzalez and Kadari Kearns. Gonzalez the near side, Kearns the far side.
So Fullerton, haven't seen that run back yet. I think it's a good time to answer. San Diego Mesa marches their way down the field on a strong offensive juggernaut against Brian Crook's defense. Kearns backs up deep into the end zone, and he says, I'm going to bring it out. Looking to go up the middle. gets across the 15 down at the 17. It'll be first down and 10 for your Hornets. San Diego jumps off top of the building and says, we hit chocolate pudding. My, that was good. Fullerton now has to come up with an answer.
Mark, you and I, before this broadcast started, were on the field and talking about a hot start, how Fullerton needed to get out of the gates quickly. Their offensive set here is really going to dictate the pace of the play the rest of the way.
Brandon Nunez with an empty backfield comes in at quarterback. First down and 10, right at the 17. Nunez looks things over. Here comes the pressure. Across the middle of the field, we move the chains. So what better person to throw it to than Jeremy Gonzalez, the surest hands on this Hornet team.
Jeremy out of Texas has had the most catches this season. That's number 15 for the Hornets.
So first down and 10, right at the 34. Garnett Davis the third in the backfield. I can't tell right now if that's him or Elvis. I'll find out in a second. It's Elvis. You can tell by the body shape. Elvis gets a gain of 3 on the play.
Matan Morris.
Michael Vakapuna, I'm sorry, Corey, does that. Vakapuna stays in the backfield. Leland Smith comes to the near side of the field. Nunez at quarterback. Vakapuna in the backfield with him. I'm going to give Elvis 4 on that play. Throw it over quickly, little side step, should move the chains. Quick and a nice quick throw to Christian Stewart, the gentleman out of Brea Linda High School. So Leland Smith comes to the near side of the field. Stewart stays with him. Vakapuna in the backfield. First down and 10 at the 45. Brandon Nunez takes it himself across the 50 down to the 48 for the Hornets. Gain of 7, second down and 3. Smith again to the near side of the field. Brandon Nunez looks things over. Nunez throws over the middle, gets hit while he's throwing, and really didn't have an opportunity, Corey, to get that to Leland Smith.
And it was a well-timed blitz. It looks like it was Cameron Sanderlin who brought the pressure up the middle against Nunez.
So Vakapuna, big third down. Near side of the field is going to be Smith. Stewart's going to be with him. Nunez goes with an empty backfield. Across the 50 at the 48. Third down and 3 for the Hornets. Nunez going deep. Down there, overshoots his receiver, Christian Stewart. And so we'll see if they're going to punt the ball away. And they are. So Jordan Young is going to be back deep for San Diego Mesa. Young will stand at the 10. Mamana will kick it off. Will punt it, for the Hornets. Here comes the pressure. Mamana gets it off. Young backpedals, signals for a fair catch, and it bounces into the end zone. So San Diego Mesa starts off swiftly and looks beautiful in doing it. We'll see if they can do that back-to-back to Brian Crook's defense. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland. Ryan, defense got shredded the first time out. Brian's got to come up something because Odom looks pretty smooth in that backfield.
And here's the question, Mark. Is it just a little bit of rustiness coming out of the bye week, or is this something where the offensive game plan for the Olympians is having a masterclass of their first couple of series? That's what's going to be determined here. They've got to create a lot of speed in that linebacking core for Fullerton, especially on the outside. You've got to keep Odom towards the middle and force him to stay towards where help is.
Odom goes back, throws over here. Kadar just reaches that. Corey, have you seen this young man? And you've seen him enough over 2 years. One of the better receivers in Southern California?
Yes. Yeah, Kadir Jope, excuse me. I'm going to mess that up all night. Hope not. No, but Kadir Jope did a nice job of going down to get the catch and then have enough agility.
Personal foul, number 27, on the defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic.
Well, they called it against number 7, and that would be – it couldn't be number 7 because that's Garnett Davis the third.
Quentin Ashford.
For the Hornets.
27, yeah. That was a
he
face
said
mask.
7.
So Ashford is one corner, Kearns one safety.
Odom at quarterback. Davis still in the backfield. First down and 10. Hand it off to him. Straight dive play up the middle. Nice gain of 8 on the play all the way up to the 50.
So Jesse Redmond.
No, that's Danny Davis in the backfield. It's 27 who's in the backfield.
Who ran the ball?
I called him. Davis in the backfield. They hand it off to Davis. Davis gets across the 50, takes it down to the 49.
Handoff went to Danny Davis. He carries it to the Hornet 49-yard line. 3rd and 1 from the 49.
Big third down for San Diego right at the 50. Odom looks over, gets a little motion in front. Odom's going to keep it himself, goes the outside, gets hit at the line of scrimmage. They're going to mark him down at the 50, no gain. It's going to bring up a 4th. They're actually going to say he lost a half yard. It's going to be 4th and a long one. San Diego Mesa is going to roll the bones.
And that's Hill and McNeely on the stop. Hill was underneath.
Young goes to the far side of the field. Odom, see if he gets him, tries to get him to jump. He does. See if they'll hold off. 12 seconds on the play clock. He comes back up. Defensive line gets ready. Get a little motion on it. And that's going to be it. They're going to let the play clock, or did they get a timeout on the sidelines? We'll see what they took. Delay a game. So they tried to get the Hornets to jump. The Hornets wouldn't do that. And Ryan Harris is going to come in and kick it away. C.J. Broy back deep. Harris is punted. Broy's back at the 15. 7-0. 5:29 to go here in the first quarter. Pressure up the middle. Harris gets it off. C.J. Broy lets it bounce. He takes it at the 10. Gets away from 1. Steps back the other direction. Reverses it one more time. It says, I'll take something as he gets out to the 15. Guys, there's talking on the field between these two teams already as a player is down for San Diego Mesa. 5:12 to go. Well, San Diego Mesa, first time they got the ball, marched their way down the field. This time Brian Crooks gets his defense to put up a brick wall, Ryan Osborn. Now, like we've said, this Hornet offense stutters. I don't feel like they can stutter against San Diego Mesa.
No, and I think when you're looking at how they can get themselves back into gear, it goes back to what you were talking about before. Brandon Nunez, if he can get himself into a rhythm, and this is what we've heard from the coaches too, is that when he gets into a rhythm, it's a beautiful thing. It's like music. It's like poetry to watch him out there and get himself into that rhythm, into that jazz, into that pocket that he's ready, willing, and able to be able to let that ball fly out of his hands. But when he starts to not be as decisive as you would like to see, that's where you're starting to see him get those incompletions, get those only 1 to 2 yard games. When you need Brandon Nunez to be able to get himself into rhythm, the way that you do that is by getting those short yardage passes to roll first. He gets onto a heater, and then you can just ride him the rest of the way towards halftime.
See what he does here. Michael Vakapuna and Garnett Davis III in the backfield with Nunez. First down and 10 right at the 15-yard line for the Hornets. San Diego up by 7. They marched down the field. They looked like they know what they were doing. Nunez brings them to the line of scrimmage. Garnett Davis III goes in motion. They throw it out to him, and he is met 5 yards deep in the backfield.
That's Tyson Shields on the stop. And again, you're talking about two of the better defenses in the SCFA going out against each other. And right now, the Olympians.
Loss of 7 on the play. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 17. C.J. Broyd to the near side of the field. Austin Levias on the outside. Garnett Davis III still in the backfield. Nunez goes back. Quick look. Middle of the field. Can't drop it there. And he was looking for Jeremy Gonzalez, who looks up and finds a deep back waiting for him. 3rd down and 17.
Or he was looking for Jordan Tate, because both of them were in the same spot. So you have Gonzalez, I had Tate.
Pick one.
Bad spacing. Either way you go, it's bad.
Levias outside. C.J. Broyd in the middle. Big 3rd down play for San Diego. They looked like they were coming. Garnett Davis III up the middle. The little engine tries to chug, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. And so far, guys, there is no offense for this Fullerton College Hornet team. They've got nothing going on.
Tyson Lang with the stop, and again, good 3rd down. You expected a run. They got a run. And back deep is going to be Jordan Young for the Olympians.
So Young will stand at the 45. Luke Mamana kicks it. Nice kick. Jordan says, I got it, takes a fair catch, steps back a couple feet. They're going to mark it, I'm going to say at the 45. And it's interesting, where the referee had his foot, guys, when the ball got thrown to him, he took another step backwards and put it right at the 45. Originally, he spotted it in front of the 45. Little interesting there. 3:45 to go. It's San Diego 7, San Diego Mesa 7, the Hornets 0. Odom brings them back out. Davis at running back. Their first drive was picturesque for San Diego. They're going to see if they can try and repeat. Fullerton looking for an answer. The defense usually stepped up. They say they're coming. They come after Odom. Odom looks in the middle of the field. Incomplete pass. Everybody went for the ball. Nice throw, nice attempt, but Young couldn't bring it in.
Harmon McNeely were in there on the blitz. Kadari Kearns broke it up.
2nd down and 10. Young goes to the far side of the field. Keep your eye on the big tight end. Elisara here on the near side of the field. 2nd down and 10. Davis still in the backfield. Odom at quarterback. Hornets come up. They go. They go what should have been a shoestring catch, and it just bounces a little short. 3rd down, and Corey, the pressure is making Odom just throw it a little little faster on the field.
Yeah, Brian is trying to disguise his blitz, come from the inside. This time they came on the outside. Jeremy McNeely, again, who leads the team in tackles for loss, almost got there with the quarterback hurry.
Odom gets ready. Hornets jump, another jump. Odom gets away. Now it's Odom one-on-one, stays on his feet. Young man can run, gets across midfield, first down. For San Diego Mesa, as the quarterback uses the ability to scramble, and nobody stayed at home to keep him in check. That's what happens. You let them go out late, they'll run wherever they want to, and that's what San Diego is doing.
He's got 60. He's got 64 yards on 4 scrambles.
First down and 10 at the 38. 3:25 to go here in the first quarter. San Diego's on the move again. Mesa looking crisp and clean on the field. Defensively, the Hornets looking a little confused. Odom goes back, keeps it himself, takes it at a quarterback keeper, up the middle, gain of maybe 1 on the play. Well, if you get a little greedy, sometimes the door gets shut on you. Cross the 40. They've got it marked right at the 38. Second down and a long 9 yards. Kadari is going to want to get loose one of these times. If he gets it thrown on the money, he's off and running. Odom goes to the other side of the field, throws it right in the hands, and all you can do when the ball hits you in the hands, Sendarian says, well, and that wasn't him. Desart Paget. Is that how I told you to say it? Paget. Thank you, Corey. Drops it. Desart Paget. Third down and 9. At the 38, the Hornets walk up defensively. Odom looks at them, sees if they're coming. Checks with the bench if he wants to change anything. We're going to get a timeout on the field with 2:25 to go here in the first quarter. It's San Diego Mesa 7, Fullerton College Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, gentlemen, the road has been a little bumpier for the Hornets than it was for us driving down here. We made good time. Right now, they're on a back road and can't find their way home.
Stuck in a pothole right now in their first period, in the first quarter. And again, this is something that we talked about on the drive here, that this could be the case for Fullerton, coming out slow.
And here's the thing, guys. When you take a look at this Fullerton offense, we knew that coming into it, they had a little bit of difficulty getting started early in games. For the first 5 games that Fullerton has played in, they have had tough opportunities in their first 3 drives. Only one of them has that changed. You're kind of seeing that mirrored here, but the defense is starting to get going a little bit more. You're seeing this almost a shaking off the rust sort of a deal with this entire Fullerton College staff.
San Diego comes out. Big third down. Let's call it 10 right at the 38. Fullerton standing 4-3. Now they walk up, back out of it again. They bring the pressure, 8 up. Quarterback gets away. If you're not going to tackle him, you've got to go down and get him. Miss him again. Finally, the third time is a charm for a defense that blitzed on the play.
Yeah, and it looked like Naborn was first in, Neesmith was second, and Biso is a third charm that brings him down.
So the defense for Brian Crooks answers the bell with 1:58 to go here in the first quarter. C.J. Broy is going to be back deep for Fullerton. Broy will stand right at the 10. It's been all San Diego Mesa in this first quarter. Come up the middle. They block it. Special teams comes up again. And so special teams comes up with the block.
And Jeremy Naborn gets his second block of the season. Or did they get Tate or Smith? Naborn.
I thought it was Naborn.
Okay. Then we go with Jeremy, his second.
That's the 4th for the team overall this season in terms of overall blocks. They've got 3 punt blocks. Actually, excuse me, that's their 5th. 3 punt blocks and 2 field goal blocks.
Garrett Larson now in at quarterback for the Hornets. So Larson comes in. Brandon Nunez couldn't get things rolling. Larson said, I'll do something. Ended up, Bakapuna gets all the way down to the 40. So Michael, who's averaging 58 yards a game, picks up a few on that.
Mark Corey, I'll go back to that 2015 team that ended up, or excuse me, 2014 team that ended up going to a bowl game where it was the special teams that made a lot of big plays for them to get themselves into a rhythm. That's what you're seeing from this Hornet squad so far this year. Whenever they need a big play, special teams have showed up.
Gonzalez goes in motion, side steps, and gets taken down at the 45. Nice sack when San Diego needed it.
Ryan Black was there, but again, Larson did a nice job at evading the first guy, but Johnny Robles came up and finished up for his first sack.
So Jeremy Gonzalez comes to the near side of the field.
3rd and 11 from the 45.
Christian Stewart outside of him. Garrett Larson looks things over. Larson, quick throw to the man with sure hands. First down, Hornets. And who do you go to? Jeremy Gonzalez, who always catches the football thrown in his direction. Ryan Osborn, go to Gonzalez, he'll get a first down. And that should bring us to the end of the first quarter. And as we come to the end of the first quarter, it's San Diego Mesa 7. The Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, if I'm driving around town looking for something to eat, you know where I go to? Discount Markets of Fullerton. Corey Neyland says, I got to get some water. He stops at Discount Markets of Fullerton. And if Gabby Neyland says it's time to get something to eat, and Corey, I don't care what it is, well, you just head down to Raymond between Chapman and Commonwealth and stop at Discount Markets. Jenna, Isabel, Sam, finest staff you'll ever meet in Southern California. Discount Markets of Fullerton, located in Raymond between Chapman and Commonwealth.
I was going to say that offensive line is new. Quick changes for the Hornets. Malosi and Nick Siatanuu are your guard, left guard and center. Andrew Sanders, the second, is going to stay in at the left tackle. The right guard is Braden Cook, and the right tackle is Preston Jeffs.
Garnett Davis III comes back out there at running back. Garrett Larson stays in at quarterback. Austin Levias comes in near side of the field. First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 30. Garnett throwing down in there. Should have been picked as he tried to get it to Leland Smith, and there was a gaggle of players for San Diego Mesa.
There was no way that was going to be completed. Jordan Dwyer read that play from the far hash mark on the far side and came ranging over to knock that down for his pass breakup, his 6th of the season.
Cameron Woods in at tight end to the near side of the field. Smith to the closest to us. Wood at tight end. Seldom used tight end. Straight up the middle. Garnett Davis, the third, on a straight dive play, gets 8. So it's going to bring up a big third down for the Hornets. At the 23-yard line, Garnett Davis, the third, stays in the backfield. Garrett Larson with him. Cameron Wood still at tight end. They try to get San Diego to jump a little. No flag. 14 seconds on the play clock. They change the play up at the line of scrimmage. We're at the 10. Garrett looks, pressure. All fight in the middle. Fight in the middle. Incomplete pass.
And great coverage. I mean, blanketed coverage for Chris Jackson on Leland Smith. The crowd for San Diego wants pass interference, but can't really call that pass interference because he was going for the ball. Both players can go for the ball. Just outstanding coverage.
So they'll stay at it. C.J. Broy comes in near side of the field. Austin with him. Along with Christian Stewart. Garrett Larson finds the middle. Has a man wide open in the middle of the field. Jordan Tate looked like Ryan Osborn walk and get a latte, and he could not get close to him.
I think this goes back to what you've been talking about, Mark. Offense doesn't look in sync at the current moment. You're looking at guys who are running routes right there. Different route than what Larson thought was going to end up happening. He thought he was going to cut to the outside. He cuts down towards the middle, ends up going to the 5-yard line. Both were open if they were both on the same page. But since they weren't, the disconnect is there, and it turns the ball over on downs.
Odom brings San Diego Mesa back out. Danny Davis at running back. Watch for the big play one more time. First down and 10, right at the 22 for San Diego Mesa. Davis looking at the defense as a running back. Quickly throw it out, trying to get it out. Gets corralled right there.
Odom's pass complete to number 9, Josh Tendaball.
So Tendaball catches that one. So Tendaball gets a gain of 4. Tendaball stays on the near side of the field. Second down and 6. They go back to Tendaball. He had a knee down. He should have been blown down as soon as he caught it. Referee doesn't do anything. Lets the play go on. Take it back to the original line of scrimmage. Tendaball stays in the slot. Now he leaves. Burns comes over there. Now Burns goes from left to right. Odom at quarterback. Third down. Brian Crook's team doesn't need to jump. Taking their time. Big third down and 9, right at the 22. Here they come. Odom looks, throws it on the money, and they don't make the initial tackle, but the hitting the tackle is enough for a first down.
Gio Burns makes the stop, and again, a nice square out as Joe took Jamari Griffin, who's playing one more time. He's back after a few weeks. Takes Griffin deep. Coming in from behind is Burns.
Young and Tendaball to the near side of the field. Davis at running back. Odom at quarterback. First down and 10, right at the 34 for San Diego Mesa. They hand it to Davis. It wasn't, as it was a fake. Odom rolls out, then tries to throw it into the flat to Young. Young can't catch the ball. Incomplete pass. Beautiful fake by the quarterback.
And the Olympians have opened up their playbook after the first 5 games. They played well against Saddleback last week, a 17-17 tie at half. And then in the second half, they couldn't keep it up.
Burns and Tendaball now here on the near side of the field. Davis the running back. Odom at quarterback. Second down and 10. This time they do run it. Caught in the backfield. Loss of 3. So it's a loss on the play.
And again, that's Jesse Richmond, excuse me. Redmond, excuse me. So Jesse Redmond, his second carry tonight.
We have a player down at the field with 11:57 to go. It's the Olympian 7, the Hornet 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. A lot of Hornet action going on this week. Tomorrow night, a little volleyball on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And Mark, we want to welcome everyone from the Hornet family who is watching all over the United States. Lots of love from Alabama, multiple parts of Texas as well, in addition to Oregon. We love to see those messages coming in from afar, letting us know where you're watching from. As Fullerton College, the impact that the Hornet football team has all over the country is far and wide.
So in other words, what you're telling me is we're taking a Sportsnet USA.net road trip. Just going to drive up somebody's house, knock on the door, stay for lunch, and then take off?
Absolutely.
All right. You know who's going to want to drive because he'll tell us he knows where he's going. We had that happen today. Left at 6 o'clock this morning, got here 5 minutes before the game started. Thank you, Corey Neyland. Third down. Odom comes out. Empty backfield for the Olympians. 10 to ball. Near side of the field. Burns in the slot next to him. Big third down at 11 for San Diego. Right at the 33. Hornets walk up. Here they come. Odom ducks to go underneath the rush, and he ends up underneath the pile.
And there's Neesmith again, one of those guys who gets in there, not a starter, but plays starter minutes, and when he's in there, he makes things happen.
So it brings up a fourth down for the Olympians. Back deep for the Hornets is going to be Jeremy Gonzalez, who'll stand at the 30 with 11:02 to go here in the second quarter. It's the Olympians 7, the Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Gonzalez comes up, catches it, gets hit, and taken down right at the 37-yard line. So
Sunderland, maybe.
that's what we got told the way to say it. So we'll see who comes out as quarterback for the Hornets. Brandon Nunez comes back out at quarterback. Gonzalez comes to the near side of the field. First down and 10 for the Hornets. Michael Vakapuna. Nope. Run down the middle. I missed it, Corey.
And it's going to be
Cameron Wood got it.
Cameron Woods again. 50-yard rush against Southwestern 2 weeks ago, and he picks up 20 here on the inside handoff. You fake it to Vakapuna on the outside.
So we get a stop in the action.
So you fake it to Vakapuna on the outside, a quick little trap play to Woods. Trap play to Woods on the inside, and you pick it up. So
it's going to be a 5-yard illegal procedure. So you give it back. Ty Dillon now in the game is the wide receiver to the near side of the field. Brandon Nunez keeps it himself, loses 2 on the play. So it'll bring up a second down and 17 for the Hornets.
big play by Joseph Heiner. Just stood up Nunez in the middle.
Garnett Davis III now in the backfield with Nunez. C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. Fox in the slot. Nunez going deep. Fight down the field. Caught. Turn. Catch for the Hornets.
And was that Leland Smith? Yes, it was Leland Smith, the big play receiver for the Hornets. It has that height. And again, Nunez launched it, not aimed it. Good pickup for 30.
They get one too many players, so it's going to be turn, caught, Incomplete, but it's going to be too many defenders on the field or illegal substitution against the Olympians.
And that's the chaos that's brought upon the fact that Fullerton is used to their offense running out there quickly. They've got the conditioning for it. They practice it all the time. So they go down the field 40 yards. They get up to the ball as quickly as possible, and it causes that chaos because those defensive substitutions are still trying to get off the field by the time that the ball is snapped.
So we'll replay the first down. So the player was trying to get off. You don't have to stop it because there was no substitution by the Hornets, so it had nothing to do with matchup. First and goal from the 5. Nunez tries to go back. Touchdown, Hornets.
And that's Fox Haugen, the other tight end for the Hornets. So the two tight ends make big plays, and a 39-yard throw before that. Touchdown.
Cameron Wood for the Hornet touchdown.
So Haugen comes through. Faubert gets ready to try for the extra point. Not enough players on the field. Plugging people in. They'll spot the ball at the 10. You add 10, 20-yard attempt. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. With 9:17 to go here in the first half. It's the Hornets 7, the Olympians 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, they finally looked at Brandon Nunez and said, just throw the darn football. And that's what he did.
And it's that rhythm thing that you and I have been talking about. Again, you saw him in rhythm, couple steps back, drop, take one look, and let that thing fly. And he does that in rhythm, all in one cadence, and it's out of his hand in a nice fluid motion out towards his left. You saw with that big pickup on the run as well from Woods. You look at this offense for Fullerton, they can be explosive. They are almost unguardable when they are in rhythm and have that cadence going for them. However, when there's miscommunication, you start to see them sputter just a little. But on that drive, you see exactly how dangerous this Hornet offense can be.
Young's going to be back deep for the Olympians. And, of course, Corey Neyland, Cameron Woods gets that one play. You said he gets used once a game.
But, again, I don't think he's underused. For that important play, that's what you get. And then the other tight end, Fox Haugen.
Young sticks back, takes it at the 3, cuts back against the grain. At the 30, it's a foot race. He stops and goes out of bounds at the 38-yard line. What a beautiful run back from the corner to get excellent field position by the Olympians.
And good response after a nice drive by the Hornets to get back in the ball game and tie it up.
Damage on the tackle.
Could have been something that the Olympians, poor field position, a little bit down. Good field position. Now they're up and ready to go.
Odom comes back out. Davis comes in. Tight formation. You look at the far side. Young, who just returned that, stays out on the field in the slot on the far side of the field. First down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Odom looks things over, goes back, has time to throw. Across the middle of the field, finds his big tight end.
So Gonzaga, nice job of finding the middle of the zone, dropped it in, and picks up the first.
Davis stays back there, first down and 10 at the 50. Odom looks things over, Davis right behind him. Little flinch, doesn't move, tight formation. Odom hands it off to Danny Davis. Danny Davis just goes outside the tackle, gets all the way down to the 41. A beautiful gain of 8 on the play.
Good job of the left side of the offensive line for the Olympians, creating space to run for Davis.
Gain of 7, second and 3 from the 43.
Elisara, another tight end in the game now. Davis looks things over. Odom with him as quarterback. Odom goes back, gives it to Davis. Davis gets racked up in the backfield.
they're trying to run behind that left side one more time behind Jose Sanchez and Justin Phillips.
Big 3rd down and 5 at the 45-yard line. Little confusion on who should be on the field. Sandoval now comes in as a wide receiver to the near side of the field. Odom at quarterback. Now they step the tight ends off the line. 3rd down and 5 at the 45. The Hornets walk up. Odom feels the pressure, goes, incomplete pass. And that should bring up 4th down for the Olympians.
And looking for Sandoval, and this is where interesting play here, because 3rd and short is where Odom hurt them in the first quarter.
Yeah, he tucked it last time, Corey, and took off running.
Hornets did a nice job of collapsing the pocket.
Jeremy Gonzalez back deep for Fullerton will stand at the 10. 7:13 to go. We're knotted up at 7. Spurts of beauty every now and then. No real pressure on the punt. They kick away from Gonzalez, and it does go away. Bounces out of bounds. We'll see if they mark it about at the 18-yard line. They're going to go up a little farther and mark it at the 21.
A reminder to all Hornet and Olympian fans.
So it's the Olympian 7, the Hornet 7. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net, Gabby Neyland making friends with law enforcement.
Her and Donnie hanging out.
Is that who's up there with her?
Yeah.
Does she have an umbrella hat on? or if her and Donnie are sharing food, we're not getting home till midnight. Brandon Nunez comes back out at quarterback. Leland Smith in the slot, the near side of the field. 1st down and 10. Quick little pass on the far side of the field. 1 evasion, 2 evasions, but that's about it. And I couldn't tell if Levias was the one who caught it over there. Gain of, well, they're going to say he doesn't get anything. I thought they'd mark it up a little, but they're going to say no. Gain of no yards on the play.
One of the captains, Eric Gant, makes the stop, and he's had a tremendous season thus far. 4th in tackles.
2nd down and 10 for the Hornets. Nunez looks over, feels the pressure, goes back, throws it where nobody is, can't complete it, but he can't have it intercepted either. 3rd down and 10 for the Hornets.
And everything is rushed in this first half for the Hornets. As Ryan said, there's been no rhythm.
6:24 to go. Garnett Davis III in the backfield with Brandon Nunez. Everybody tightens up just a little. Is it the defense playing so well, or is it the offenses that just can't function? Brandon Nunez throws it to who? The man with the best hands on the field, Jeremy Gonzalez, who, if you need a 1st down, there's only one place to go. To JG.
His 3rd catch tonight. And again, that time Nunez got time to throw behind Garcia and Nichols, Dalton Brown at center, Andrew Sanders the 2nd, and Braden.
Michael Vakapuna comes in at running back. 1st down and 10 at the 35. Vakapuna goes down to the right, wants to make the corner, tries for the corner, gets a little across it before he's taken down, maybe a gain of about a half a yard on the play.
Jordan Dwyer, again, an outstanding safety for the Olympians. And the 5th lineman for the Hornets is Luke Terrones.
JG comes in the slot to the near side of the field. Leading receiver for this Hornet team. I'm going to call it 2nd and 10. I don't think much was happening. Gonzalez turns, throws in a spot, and when you do that, if your tight end's in the right place, you're going to catch the football.
And again, Tyson Shields, excellent coverage, but Vakapuno continues on his route to the outside. Shields, one step out. Nunez throws to the middle.
First down and 10.
Ball at the Hornets 48.
Move it up to the 48. Garnett Davis the third. Back in. Near side of the field, Leland Smith. They come up. Here they come to Nunez. Nunez going for Smith. Smith just had good coverage against him and couldn't pull it in. Second down and 10. Right at the 48. 4:45 to go. Here in the first half, the Olympians 7, the Hornets 7 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Big second down. Nunez rolls out, stops, throws back, and throws it right into traffic.
And again, Jordan Dwyer, you saw the range he had down at the goal line, coming over and almost intercepting one. This time he read Nunez all the way. Good pressure by Matan, who forced him into a bad throw.
What's intriguing about that play too, Corey, is that it goes off one defender's chest, hits the other defender in the hands, he bobbles it, and it finally finds the first guy originally. It ends up hitting two different spots, but still ends up as an interception. The officials on the far side threw a flag right at the 30-yard line.
Wondering if it's against the coaches or...
So we've got a discussion on the field. Flag thrown on the far side. See if it gets picked up. Wait to see what it is. Hasn't been marked off yet.
Good ball, offsetting fouls. Let's move right conduct. On 14, unsportsmanlike conduct. On Mesa, those players will offset.
So it's a dead ball foul. Play happens, people start talking to each other and barking at each other. Officials throw a flag.
Disqualified from the game. First down.
So Junior Kennedy, Ant Harris, Michael Small, and Carlo Torres up front. Tita Noah, Biso, McNeely, and Harm are the backers.
Odom comes up to quarterback. First down and 10. We're at 4:38 to go here in the first half. Knotted at 7. Some people thought this would be an easy broadcast and an easy game. It's neither. As they run a little receiver screen, as they run somebody out, he throws the block. When the ball is passed, the receiver takes off. Questionable play always on that to me because somebody is downfield blocking. Gain of 6 on the play, across the 40, all the way down to 43. Odom brings him back out. Look back over the sidelines. Odom looks over, waits. Runs with Davis. A little delay right off a right guard. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up a third down and 6.
And that's how fast Junior is coming around that outside. If you don't tackle him, it's a guaranteed tackle for loss. Little and Ashford, near side, far side corners. Grant and Kearns, far side, near side safeties.
Young to the near side of the field. Davis goes from left to right. Odom at quarterback. Third down and 5, right across the 40. Little movement on the line. No flag thrown. Hornets stay back. Here they come. Odom feels the pressure. Pulls it down again, Corey Neyland, across the 50 to the 40. Gets a block at the 30. Stays on his feet all the way down to the 15-yard line.
And Quentin Ashford doesn't lead with the head, leads with the shoulder pad into a shoulder pad to bring him down. And Odom, they called a hold against the Olympians on that offensive line, big number 55.
So a questionable call if you're an Olympian fan. Great run, great scramble by Odom down the field to get that first down. If you're a Hornet fan, you like the call. If you're a San Diego fan, you know the official missed something along the way.
And Whitley gets called for it. And again, Odom was under pressure. The pocket was collapsing. Good job of evading pressure. But again, tough call to take if you're a Mesa fan.
Yeah, but you got to love the way Odom runs the football. I mean, he finds the hole, and then he picks up his blockers. Big third down. Well, what could have been isn't. They'll try it one more time. If you're an Olympian, Odom gets set, looks back. Get a flag on the play. Run it. Try to turn the corner. Can't turn the corner. Another flag on the play. So Estrada, Nico Estrada, can't get any yardage for the Olympians.
Going out to the 34-yard line.
Illegal formation, number 75 is lined up in the backfield. That penalty will be declined. 4th down.
So you have a lineman lining up too deep, so technically he's not on the line of scrimmage. That's what they throw the flag for. The Hornets decline the penalty, and so they will have the ball punted away to them. Back deep, Jeremy Gonzalez. Jeremy, the more productive player today for the Hornet offense. Here comes the pressure. Get it away. Jeremy lets it go, and it is going to roll positively for the Olympians. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Well, there hasn't been much to get excited about. A lot of, oops, I don't know. Should you make that turn? Hey, where is the stadium? Oh, no, that was our ride, not the football game. Forgot all about that. I got a little confused there. But that's about as much excitement as is on the field here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, and the old guy, happy to bring you this game here on Sportsnet, USA.net. The question is, who comes out at quarterback? Brandon Nunez, Michael Vacapuna at running back. Leland Smith, near side of the field. Gonzalez in the slot. Nunez up the middle, stays on his feet, gets a gain of 3 on the play. Flag on the play. It's going to be against the Hornets if you're an Olympian.
So after a punt of 54 yards, a positive gain for the Hornets, then you're going to back them up.
So we'll wait for the call. And this would be, my interpretation is this is after the play.
Yes.
139.
There's a dead ball, personal foul, 75 offense. They're playing half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
That's Braden.
So they move it back.
Game time is reset the game clock to 149.
So they're going to reclock it to 149. 39, 139?
Yeah, so they're, oh no, you were right, Mark. I
Thank
take that
you.
back. It is
Whoa.
149.
Can we get a sound check on that? Maybe the only time I have one this entire year. I'll take it. 95 yards away with 149 to go. Vacapuna goes from left to right, so the strength in the formation is to the Hornets' right side. Nunez feels the pressure, throws it out to the flat.
Cameron Woods across the middle, a little tight end look in. But again, playing it safe with 1:21 to play in the half.
So that is the second time
safe play because you waste time. Safe play because it's an easy pass. If you are the Olympians, tell you what, if I'm the Olympians right now, I sell out. Corey Neyland doesn't. I do.
I don't think you sell out because you don't want to get beat. Fullerton has a tendency to go downfield, want to sell out, and they'll pick up that positive yards. You stay down, you close them out, call a timeout quickly. Your punter's averaging 37 yards a kick. You hope he doesn't have a good kick. You get good field position with a minute.
And
then you got a chance.
Considering how well they have, and considering how well they have marched down the field with their running game, if you open that up, get him into open space, you have plenty of time on the clock to get yourself to the sidelines.
See, that's what I like about sports.usa.net, the looks that we get from people in the crowd when you let them know the accuracy of the game. Straight up. Did he get Garnett Davis III? He's just short. And the Hornets, and you're going to get a timeout now on the field. So the Hornets were going to come up quickly with 1:03. And Brandon Nunez is talking to the official about that too, Corey, because they had a person from the Olympians holding a Hornet down to the ground. So therefore you can't run up to the line of scrimmage and try to get a fast play off.
Timeout. Mesa, that is your final timeout of the first half. Reset the time clock.
So
1:07.
how daring do you want to be?
It's a
Corey, what's Corey looking into the distance again on me?
I think if you're Fullerton, this is an excellent chance to just say, you know what, we've got a short amount of clock left in the second quarter. You take at least one shot and get yourself 30 to 40 yards.
Boy, you know, Mr. Neyland, the negativity you have is just astounding. I'm surprised we don't get home at 2 o'clock in the morning. San Diego Mesa will look for the return, set up at the 42. High floater, signal for a fair catch at the 40.
And by the Hornets, I meant the Olympians.
That's now. That's not earlier. What were the words that they'll get the ball and they'll have a minute to go?
No, those were not the words. You know, people, it'd be nice if...
Sound check that.
I will. You know that. Boy, I tell you what. Hostility up here tonight. Wow. You could go sit down that direction. I'm sure the people from the Olympians would like to talk to you. Just remember that we are Fullerton College, some of us. The Olympians will start at the 40. Odom brings them out. Davis, a running back. Goes back. Throws it. Pitch and a catch. Cost of 50.
And that's Jope one more time. Odom, nice job of throwing before he comes out of his break, and the ball is there.
Burns comes on the near side of the field. Odom's on the move, cross the 50, first down and 10. Goes back, pressure comes up. He steps up. He's going to run it. Decides not to, throws it away, incomplete pass. Stop the clock. Stop the clock.
And that's Jeremiah McNeely again with the bat down.
About 3 seconds ran off the clock before they stopped it.
Reset the clock.
Thank you.
Holding, number 58, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
And again, the hold is on Jordan Crawford.
Just want you to say how the crowd's agreeing with me. Yeah, reset the clock.
Jordan Crawford was the one being held and giving chase to Odom.
This is where Odom Corey looks for his favorite receiver right about now. We'll see with the Hornets. Do you think they bring pressure? If you're Brian, are you going to bring pressure?
You got to bring a little bit of pressure because Fullerton, if it's an out route, they're notorious for jumping those routes. So he's going to have to be careful about throwing the outs. But here's where I would
35 seconds. They added time to the clock, which was good. Here they come with the pressure. Odom goes back, throws it away. Does it? Okay, guys, now this is where I thought you had to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Not if you're out of the pocket.
If you're out of the pocket, I thought if you were in the pocket, you had to get the line of scrimmage. I don't think he was out of the pocket.
But he was out of the pocket.
He was out of the pocket.
Okay.
He absolutely was outside the pocket.
Okay. So that's why there's no flag on the field with 31.4 to go. Odom brings it up quickly. Big third down. Run straight up the middle. Davis doesn't get drugged down. That puts them at the 45. Clock continues. They have no timeouts left. At the 16 seconds. Odom going back. Receiver slips on the break, and that hurts them desperately.
And Paget was the one who slipped against Quentin Ashford.
Quentin Ashford defending for the Hornets.
8 seconds left in the half. 8 seconds.
So fourth down. And they decide they're going to punt the ball away
From the 45.
with 8.5 seconds to go. Delay game. So moves it back.
Still first down. Fourth down.
So it's now fourth down and 11.
Fourth down for the right field strike.
Fullerton.
And Fullerton calls a timeout. Okay, again, let's get the brain trust. Ryan, you get in on this too.
And on the east side of the stadium.
And Corey, I'm serious about this. You talked about the conservative attitude. Don't be too dangerous or do anything. But you've got 8.5 seconds. You're not going to do anything. When do you just, at any time now in this game, you're tied at 7, do you just say, let's go into halftime, let them kick the ball, it's okay? Or do you say, guys, we blocked one, let's go for maximum attack and lay out and see what happens with 8.5 seconds? Or just, hey, let's take our hat, call it the half and walk in?
Go for the block. There's only 8 seconds left. You go for the block. If something good happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you go in a half, you get the ball to start the second.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, especially since you have the opportunity to, if you do get the successful block, sit on it as quick as possible. You should have about 2 to 3 seconds left on the clock.
And what they have is Kadari Kearns is going to be deep. He's their kickoff return guy. They're going to leave their defense on the field.
And that's the reason,
4th and 12 for the
because the Olympians said, you know what, maybe we might as well go. 4th and 12. Odom looks things over, steps back, quick kick. It's going to back up at the 20, and that's going to take us to the end of the first half. As we come to the end of the first half, well, it's been an interesting half to say the least, but not an exciting one. The Hornets 7, the Olympians 7, here on Sportsnet USA.net.
Yeah, and Mark, when you take a look at SportsNetUSA.net, of course, we've got a lot of things going on SportsNetUSA.net, or should I say across SportsNetUSA.net. Plenty of different events, plenty of different live sporting events specifically. Chargers volleyball is going to be taking place tomorrow at 6 p.m. as the Chargers will be playing Fullerton College. That is October the 13th, 6 p.m. And the Huskies will end up being back here on sportsnetusa.net. That will be October the 18th. Husky volleyball, 6 p.m. as well. So if you've got that hankering for volleyball, live volleyball here on sportsnetusa.net, that will be this Friday and October the 18th. That's next week with the Chargers and the East LA Huskies. Now, here with Fullerton College football, we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, the rankings, how Fullerton sits in their own standings as well, just to kind of give an update on where Fullerton College and the entire football team sit at the current time. Well, right now, Fullerton College comes out of the bye week. Remember, prior to the bye week, we all went down to Southwestern, and there was an opportunity for the Hornets to be able to go out to Southwestern, make a statement, and say, hey, we want to have some good vibes, some good rhythm, some good cadence, and some good momentum going into the break, and they did exactly that. If you remember, Fullerton College ended up having a decisive victory against the Southwestern Jaguars. In fact, it was one of their more dominant games that we have seen in recent memory. 59-7, they end up with a win over Southwestern down here in the, we'll call it San Diego region. And it continued a trend where Fullerton College scored 40 or more points each time that they have gone out and played against an opponent. Remember, against East LA, they won it 51-0 in their first shutout in over 5 years. And then they beat Mount San Jacinto at home, 44-20, a final there. They ended up with a plus 24 set, and Southwestern 59-7. The offense had no trouble against East LA. The offense also had no trouble against Southwestern, but against Mount San Jacinto, things didn't look as smooth as they could have been. They didn't necessarily have that same type of feeling that you felt against East LA, but the Hornets were still able to ride their defense, ride the special teams, and eventually the offense got themselves back into it, and they were able to come away with that 44-20 victory. Now, when you take a look at how Fullerton has come into this matchup, as we've already talked about, and you see on the scoreboard there, a 7-7 tie between Fullerton and San Diego Mesa, and to say that it has been tough going for Fullerton to this point can be a little bit of an understatement. When you look at Fullerton as of the current moment against San Diego Mesa, just taking a look at some of the live stats between these two teams, first downs for Fullerton end up going San Diego Mesa's way, as San Diego Mesa actually has outgained the Hornets. They have that rushing attack with Odom that has been consistent and has been able to get on offense and get things rolling. You saw earlier, Odom with more than 50 yards rushing on just 4 attempts for them, and he was kind of leading the offense. The Fullerton College linebacking core, defensive line core, had a lot of trouble containing him in the pocket, containing him in the backfield, and it led to some difficulty for not only just the Hornets in a sense of total yardage, but it led to them getting scored on in the very first drive that they ended up going against the Olympians. Now, when you switch things over to the turnover battle, well, plain and simple, there really hasn't been one. If you count the the turnover on downs between both these two sides, each of these two sides has given up the ball at least once. There has been an interception that went to Brandon Nunez, but other than that, it hasn't necessarily been one of those games where both teams are just giving up the football. Kind of like that Canyons game where we saw in week number 2 of the season here for Fullerton College. It hasn't been that, but both of these two defenses have been playing pretty well. You're looking at both these two sides not giving up more than 250 yards of total offense in the first half alone, which is pretty nice considering that both sides have elite level defenses. You heard it from Corey. San Diego Mesa in terms of total yardage is one of the best in the southern region of the CCCAA. And of course, Fullerton College, as has been oft mentioned, always a consistent member of the top 10 in the CCCAA in terms of total yardage giving up in the rushing category and also takeaways as well. Now, as we take a look at how the Hornets fare in the rankings, it's kind of an interesting thought process that goes into the rankings overall. A couple weeks ago when we were gathered together, it was about how Fullerton College had been dropping in the early going because they hadn't looked, we'll say, dominant against big teams. And what I mean by that is you look at the overall rankings of Canyons, East LA, Santa Barbara, and Mount San Jacinto, well, plain and simple. None of them are inside the top 15, so a lot of the people on the coaches poll and the SID poll looked at that and said, okay, yes, they're winning by decent margins, but have they played anybody? And so Fullerton actually saw themselves slide a couple of spots, even though they were getting wins against what they deemed to be really good opponents in the preseason. They weren't getting the love from the selection committee because, to them, outside the top 15 doesn't matter as much as teams like American River, who end up being a number 1 team, and teams like Butte, who end up being a top 5 team. Now, that all changed after the Southwestern matchup. Fullerton ends up getting themselves into the number 5 spot. After the bye, they move themselves into the number 4 spot because the previous number 1 spot in the rankings actually took a loss. Remember, College of San Mateo had a huge winning streak going on. All of last year, they went undefeated, absolutely trounced Riverside City College in the state final, and they were able to take that undefeated season and continue rolling it to a 4-0 record. However, last week, or excuse me, I should say 2 weeks ago, they faced Butte at home, and San Mateo had the opportunity with 20 straight points in the fourth quarter to get themselves back into it, but they try and go for 2 towards the end of the game to get themselves as a tie, or to get themselves to a tied spot, and they weren't able to do so as the Butte defense stood tall and was able to stop College of San Mateo from getting there. So San Mateo gets their first loss in almost 2 years, calendar-wise, and they end up dropping all the way down to number 7, which means there's a new number 1 in the state of California after last week's bye. Riverside City College is the number 1 team in the state of California. They are top 5 in the nation. 6 first-place votes for the Riverside City College Tigers, 5-0 record. Last week, of course, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, they were ranked number 2 right behind San Mateo, but they slide up to number 1, and City College of San Francisco moves up to number 2. Also with a 5-0 record, and they have a win against a top 5 opponent as well. Mount Sac, who has been beating teams pretty dominantly, also has 2 first-place votes, a 5-0 record to their credit as well. They were number 4 going into 2 weeks ago, and Fullerton takes over that spot as they slide into number 4 in the state of California. Previously, they were number 5. Butte is 4-1. American River is also 4-1, and that brings up College of San Mateo as well, which is just a grouping of different teams who have been excellent in terms of beating each other up and, plain and simple, destroying all the competition that they had outside of that. You look at American River, their only loss is to top 5 opponents. San Mateo, only loss, top 4 opponents. American River, same deal. Those 3 teams battling it out, 5, 6, and 7 is where they end up stopping. Golden West College is number 8. They are 4-1. Their only loss to this point came earlier on in the season, and it was a close one. Contra Costa finds themselves in the top 10 for the first time in quite a few years. 5-0 record for Contra Costa. They were previously ranked as number 11. El Camino finishes off the 10 spot in the top 10 of the CCCAA coaches poll as they find themselves with a 4-1 record. And remember, last year, Fullerton College played El Camino at home and lost to El Camino in what would prove to be the only Fullerton College loss for quite some time, as we found out the rest of the way through the season. El Camino consistently fields a very top-quality competition-type team, and this year is no different. 4-1 record. They were previously ranked number 13. They move into the top 10 spot. So as we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard with those rankings in mind, now it gives you a different perspective on the different teams that are facing each other. There are 5 other games in progress here on a Thursday night, which you're thinking to yourself, okay, first off, Fullerton and San Diego Mesa are playing each other on a Thursday. That's already unusual enough. But there are 5 other games going on as well, and we give you the updates on that. Golden West and Orange Coast are actually almost done with their matchup. Golden West, remember, we just mentioned the Golden West Rustlers were pretty good considering that they were sitting in a top 6 spot. Well, they're proving it tonight. Golden West 44-9. They have a big-time lead over Orange Coast in the Battle of the Bell game. And Golden West, the Rustlers, with 9:16 left to go in the 4th quarter of play. Again, 44-9 at LaBarge Stadium. They lead it over top of Orange Coast. Canyons and El Camino. Canyons currently ranked number 17. El Camino, as we just mentioned, ranked number 10, in a lot of danger there, as Canyons is currently trailing it 21-14 with 4:13 left to go in the 4th quarter of play. Canyons, we saw them earlier this year against Fullerton College in week 2 of the season, and the Canyons Cougars at that time looked like they could be dangerous on both sides of the ball if they were able to figure out the disconnect. They looked electric at times. They looked a little slow, a little sluggish at times, and that's where Fullerton College took advantage. But you saw the promise there in a very young squad for College of the Canyons. They're proving it tonight as to why they're able to be so dangerous when they get all things clicking at the same time. Canyons, once again, with now 2:34 left to go in the 4th quarter of play, they lead it 21-14 over top of the El Camino Warriors. So just 2.5 left. The number 10 team in the CCCAA in danger of losing and dropping out of the top 10. LA Valley and Southwest, that game started at 6 p.m. We'll get you an update once we know the score there. As we move over to LA Pierce and Glendale. 27-6, Glendale with a big lead over LA Pierce as they head into the half between both of those two sides in the American Division. Beautiful new logo update for LA Pierce. The Brahmas find themselves looking good. However, in today's matchup, score not so much. 27-6, Glendale with a 21-point lead going into the half. Speaking of going into the half, Moorpark and Ventura. Moorpark trying to get themselves back towards the upper echelon of competitive teams. They haven't necessarily had the best of squads in the last 10-ish years or so. Remember when Fullerton played them and shut them out in 2017, I believe. That was a Moorpark team that ended up having a winless season a couple years prior. But they're building, and building. It's slow progress, but that program continues to rise. And they're playing competitively against Ventura, who has been a traditional power in Southern California. It's 24-17 as both of those two traditional rivals face it out going into the half. So once again, 24 for Ventura, Moorpark with 17. And as you have heard so far in this matchup to this point, San Diego Mesa 7, Fullerton College 7 as well. Let's get to the standings overall in the CCCAA. As we take a look at Fullerton College and San Diego Mesa, that's where we will start because that's the biggest impact to both of these two teams. Fullerton College is 2-0 in conference play. Southwestern, already a win for Fullerton, and they already beat Mount San Jacinto as well. And Fullerton with 103 points for, just giving up 27 points against in conference. That is the best in both of those two categories. They lead the conference with a 5-0 record overall and an in-conference record of 2-0. Riverside City College slides in right behind them with the 2-0 record in conference as well. 86 points for, 61 points against. But one of the big reasons why they're sitting at number 2 in the conference compared to Fullerton's number 1 is because 3 different times this season, Riverside has had to overcome 3-score deficits and come back and win. Now, a huge credit can be given to that coaching staff over at Riverside City College because of how well they have done when they have been presented with adversity. But that's the reason why they're sitting at number 2 in the conference rankings, because overall points for versus points against point differential allows Fullerton to be number 1, Riverside at number 2. Saddleback slides into the number 3 spot in the National Southern Division. They also have a 2-0 in conference record, a 3-2 overall record. They had a tough go of it in the preseason, if you will, as they had a 1-2 record in the pre-conference play. 190 points for, 124 against, but they have won each of their last 3 matchups. That includes 2 in conference play. San Diego Mesa, who is here tonight against Fullerton College, is 1-1 in conference play, 3-2 overall record, and the final 4 in the National Southern, Palomar, Grossmont, and Mount San Jacinto with Southwestern as well. Palomar 1-1, Grossmont 0-2, Mount San Jacinto 0-2, and Southwestern as well with an 0-2 in conference record. Just a little humor for thought, if you will. Fullerton and Riverside, remember just a few moments ago we reminded you that RCC is now the #1 team in the state of California and top 5 in the nation, but it's Fullerton who currently leads the conference due to point differential. So just an interesting little side note there. You can have the #1 team in the nation, but due to technicalities, another team leads the conference for the moment being. Now remember, San Diego Mesa and Fullerton, if Mesa ends up getting a victory in this game, that could send shockwaves throughout the National Southern Division and also in the rankings as well. I mean, you look at the rankings, Fullerton is #4, San Diego Mesa is ranked outside the top 10. San Diego Mesa gets a win, it could cause a lot of, we'll say, dashing to the Fullerton College playoff hopes, and it would be really tough for Fullerton College to re-crack the top 5 by the end of the season because of how, quote, late this game is in the schedule. On the other side for Fullerton, they're trying to get that win so that way they can not only stay in the playoff race, but they can stay in the potential conference championship talk as well, considering that they're going to have to go against Riverside City College and Saddleback as the final 2 matchups of the season. As we take a look at Southern California, around Southern California, El Camino, who is currently trailing Canyons, had a 2-0 record in conference. They led the conference along with Canyons as well, who was 2-0, and Ventura, who is 2-0 as well. Again, El Camino, as of last check, was losing with just under 2 minutes to play, 21-14, and Canyons has actually spread out that score. They've expanded on it. It's 24-14, a 10-point lead for Canyons over El Camino, and it looks like Canyons is going to take down El Camino, drop El Camino to 4-2, and El Camino will no longer lead their conference rankings in the National Northern Division. It will be Canyons with a 3-0 record. Ventura leading Moore Park at the half. We mentioned it, 24-14 was the last check. And if they continue to keep that score being the same, will move up to 3-0, and they're going to slide into #2 in the National Northern. Earlier, we mentioned that pack of 3 who have been so important to overall playoff outlook, American River, Butte, and Sierra. They are all looking to start conference play because they have a smaller conference, only 6 teams in the National NorCal Division. They're getting set to start off their very first conference opponents coming up this weekend. And speaking of, let's get to some of the biggest games of this weekend. Tomorrow, San Mateo will play Laney. Remember, just 2 years ago, Laney was in the playoff picture and had an opportunity to go to the national championship game, just ended up losing out to San Francisco. They play San Mateo tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Riverside is going to play Grossmont, a 12 p.m. matchup on Saturday, and American River will play Shasta if everything goes according to how everyone thinks it will on paper. Both of those 2 teams will continue to be in the top 5. San Joaquin Delta takes a trip to San Francisco. That's a 1 p.m. matchup, and they'll also be joined at 1 p.m. with Modesto and Sacramento City. Bakersfield faces Allen Hancock, and to wrap up the out-of-town scoreboard and games to look forward to, it's Butte and Santa Rosa. Butte traveling to Santa Rosa at 5 p.m., and Cerritos will play Mount Sac in what will be a very intriguing matchup between those 2 sides, as Mount Sac looks to stay in the top 3. So I get set to reintroduce our play-by-play guy for the Fullerton College Hornets, Mark Pavlovich, here on SportsNetUSA.net. Mark, I'll let you take it away to the start of the second half as we get set For Fullerton and San Diego Mesa, when you take a look at this half mark, Fullerton didn't look all too in gear, we'll say, offensively. The defense keeps them in it, but they've got to get something going in the second half.
Well, I think the biggest thing you brought up was the word intriguing. I find this first half extremely intriguing when you think about it, as the Hornets, who came into this game seeming to be able to put up 41 points whenever they wanted to, can't get it done in this first half. Give the Olympians credit on what they did defensively. They took things away. They took the run away from the Hornets. They took the successful passes that they've had in the past away from the Hornets. And the quick look-ins weren't successful. You had Brandon Nunez come out there at the beginning of the game looking a little rusty. It looked like they had been off for a month of Sundays. They had only been off for a weekend. And things went awry. For San Diego Mesa, they came back on the field, and they looked like a team that was not 3-2 overall. They looked like the 5-0 team. They had a little giddy up in their step. Odom, the quarterback, when he had an opportunity, when the ends crash, like Brian Crooks will tell his ends, stay home on the corners. Don't crash. Any division you go into, any level, your defensive ends will be told, go up the field. Make the box defensively. Drive a running back or a quarterback back towards your defensive tackles or your nose guard if you're playing 3-down linemen. Once you don't do that, quarterback gets the outside, it's a foot race. And realize most of your defensive backs are going downfield with a receiver. They have their head turned. They are not looking to catch up with anybody. So once they turn around, 30 yards have gone by the wayside. And in saying that, you're in trouble. We get ready as everybody deserted me at the table. This is going to be interesting. Because Mr. Pavlovich is going to have to, guys, I'm a one-man show right now, so be patient with me. I'm scooting to the other side of the table. Corey Neyland had something to do. Ryan Osborn had something to do. So my guys desert me as I go to the other side of the table. I'm going to run everything right now. It just shows you what a technological guy I am. As I quickly sit down, let's see if Ryan can run up the steps. I don't think he's going to make that either. Oh, here he comes. Ryan says, oh, Mark's all by himself. Mark's sitting down getting comfortable. I'm getting out of Ryan. Ryan's trying to help me up. Boy, this is a zoo, right, Ryan? Mr. Pavlovich trying to play right and left. Technical director, play-by-play guy. Hornets will receive the kickoff.
See, here's what's great, Mark. Athletic plays all around.
I tell you, did you notice that? I was a little agile out here.
I did.
Kadari Kearns. Back deep. Stand at the 5. Kadari. Sides. No, it's too deep. It goes into the end zone. So it'll be an automatic touchback. Well, the Hornets need to start this game not the way they ended the first half, Ryan Osborn. They need to come out hot and establish an offensive flow.
And you know what, Mark? I'll go to that last play there by Kadari Kearns. Remember, earlier in the first half, you saw him take the ball from deep inside the end zone, and it cost you field position. They start at their own 13. In this case, it's just that little experience. It's that changing of the motion, changing of the thought process. Right there, he lets it go past him. Yes, it's a simple play, but if you want to get your offense going, you have to give them the best possible start to their drive.
Brandon Nunez with a different offensive set. Michael Vacapuna and Garnett Davis III in the backfield. Nunez fakes it, Garnett Davis III and takes it up the middle for a gain of 9 on the play.
And expect a lot of that, Mark, here in the second half, because you look at how Nunez is able to run the ball. He's a very physical runner, has a lot of build to him, 6'4", and he's able to use that size to go into defenders. So watch for him to carry the ball a lot more in the second half.
It's going to take it up to the 34. It's second down and a yard. Garnett Davis III gets pulled down and tackled in the backfield. And Corey Neyland and I were just talking in half. Fast defenses, you don't run to the corner, you beat them going straight ahead. That's what Brandon Nunez did with the quarterback keeper. They go to the outside, they lose 5 yards on the play. Big third down for Fullerton starting the second half. We're all knotted up at 7. The Olympians 7, the Hornets 7, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Nunez comes out, big third down play. Fakes it, across the middle of the field, cannot connect. And once again, it's quick and out for the Hornets. Jordan Young back deep for the Olympians. He'll stand at the 30. Mamana will kick from about the 10. Luke puts a foot into it. Young gets hit by his own guy. The ball is out. And we'll see if the Hornets have it. It'll be who comes up with it. Waiting for the officials.
Officials have the ball, but they have not signaled who has possession.
And the coaching staff for the Hornets is livid.
The Olympians are saying they've got it.
So what happened is one of the Olympians went back, faded back to help his receiver on that kick. The ball bounces off of him, bounces forward towards the Hornets, and they're going to say the Olympians retain the ball.
And Mark, the reason why that's not a halo infraction is it goes back to what you're talking about.
How do you call that penalty? They call that a halo infraction. His own man hits him
into the receiver.
That is a horrible call by the officials. I don't care what team you're rooting for.
We were just about to say that's why it's not a halo infraction, is because the guy hits the oncoming rusher into his own receiver.
No wonder there was screaming from the bench from the Hornet side. Odom gives it a straight drive, gain of 5 on the play.
Mark, I do want to give a lot of credit to this offensive line for the Olympians. They have done a sensational job of opening up holes for Odom, opening up holes for the running backs to be able to get 5, 6, 7 yards per carry. Every time they rush the ball, it feels like they're getting half the amount that they need.
Davis stays in the backfield. Young in the slot. Odom at quarterback. Second down, 6. Odom rolls out, throws it over. On there, nice catch, taken off the ground. Beautiful, going down and getting him. Sanderlin scoops it for a catch. Oh, Paget. Sorry. Desert Paget went down and got it. Well, first down and 10. Paget stays on the near side of the field. They run a reverse. Then they throw the football. Picked! So, and you can hear the coaches upstairs saying picked off. Corey Neyland is come walking down with a big grin on his face because you can hear it.
That's going to go to Biso Tidenois as he goes out follows that pattern across the middle of the field, and Tidonwa is able to mirror that and jump the route. He gets in front of it, is able to secure the ball, and tumbles around to make sure that the ball is safe to his chest and he's able to control it all the way to the ground. We talked to Biso a couple weeks ago on the Coach's Show, and he said his athleticism is what his biggest credit is.
So a turnover for the Hornets at the 50. Nunez, quick one, down the middle of the field, at the 20, at the 10, touchdown Hornets. On a slant, a little skinny slant right there. And it was on the money. Brandon Nunez threads the needle for a touchdown. What a great pitch and catch to Neyland Smith, who comes in for a score.
The theme of this game is rhythm, Mark. You saw that right there. Just an excellent opportunity for Brandon Nunez to say, hey, I know I've got my guy. I count mentally. 1, 2, the throw is there. And he puts it on the dot in stride, too. That's the most important part of that throw, Mark. It's in stride in front of him where his receiver can go out, grab the football, and keep running.
So turnover by the defense. We talked about Brian Crooks' defense always stepping up to win football games for the Hornets. They get the turnover, and Garrett Campbell's offense says, thanks for the present. I think we'll actually take it home and use it, and gets a touchdown.
Well, one of the things that you and Corey always talk about is that if you're able to get a takeaway like that, the first thing you do on that next drive in the first couple plays is take a shot, because you're already playing with that house money, if you will, because you have the ability to say, if we make a mistake, we make a mistake. We shouldn't even have the ball to begin with. An athletic play by your defense gives you the opportunity to open up that playbook and say, Brandon, go find that person that you feel you can find a strike to, and he delivers it perfectly into the breadbasket.
Yeah, so the Hornets jump on top quickly after the turnover, at a great route by Neyland Smith coming across the field, and Brandon Nunez doesn't hesitate. He puts the money right where you need to, in Smith's back pocket, and he ends up buying donuts for everyone. So the Hornets up by 7 to start the second half. Mr. Neyland's back here with us. He heard donuts. He went down there looking for some.
Charles Vioro on the kickoff
Take a knee.
goes into the end zone.
So, Corey, I know you were up above there, getting a better view of the play.
Yes.
Taken by Gordon Young.
Biso did an outstanding job of that pick. I mean, left us speechless up there because he dove, and that was a good throw by Odom where only his core receiver can get it. But Biso's athleticism created a dive that gets that pick. And again, what can you say about Neyland Smith and his separation speed after the catch?
Odom comes out. Davis at running back. They get to the near side of the field. First down and 10 at the 25 for the Olympians. The Hornets up by 7. Defense feeling the warmth of the night now. Everybody looking on who's moving, and we're going to get a flag. And that was Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland. That was the defense on tackle, moving in a foot and a half, and the tackle points at him and stands up to let everybody else. Hey, they're changing the offensive set. Just a quick little movement like that gets you 5 yards. First down and 15 from the 20. Here come the Hornets, straight up the middle. Odom throws. There is nobody guarding that, and it's a gain of 7 on the play.
Well, there's no one that was on burned because of
The blitz.
Jope. No, that was Jope who took out the corner and the safety, and it wasn't quite a pick play, but the ball was, the impact was there before the ball was there.
Gain of 6 on the play. Second down and 9 for the Olympians. Odom tries to get him. Hornets walk back up. 4 down Lendman. Traditional 3 linebackers. Now they walk their linebackers up the line of scrimmage. They keep one up there. One backs off. Now both of them back off. Odom says, I'll keep him myself. Try to turn the corner. Gets a line of scrimmage this time, Mr. Neyland. The door shuts on it.
Met by Chris Harm, and is there a face mask on Harm on the tackle? That's the only thing you can think of on that tackle by the middle linebacker.
Waiting to see what gets called.
Personal foul, face mask, number 24, defense.
So that's going to move it all the way across the 40 to the 43. First down and 10 for the Olympians.
And Mark, you mentioned donuts. Everybody wants donuts. Big Ray needs some donuts.
Next home game, Ray. We'll make sure Corey brings you some donuts.
I got you, brother.
Odom comes out. Estrada, Nico Estrada, running back. Now for the Olympians, Estrada back there with Odom. Estrada looks. Here they comes. Odom gets met in the middle, tries to get away, gets across the 40, but he doesn't make it back. Does he make it back to the original line of scrimmage? Because if he does, it's not a sack.
It's not a sack. Ant Harris, Carlo Torres, Jeremy Naborn. And if Odom had time, he had a receiver over the middle, but he just didn't have the time to unload.
Had no gain on the play.
So Tucker comes in the near side of the field. Nico switches from right to left. Odom at quarterback. Second down and 10. Right at the 41 for the Olympians. Hornets walk up, back out. They don't bring pressure. Odom. Oh, should have, could have, would have. Corey Neyland, I tell you what, I would have jumped that quick for a piece of cake. And you know what, Ryan Osborn, you're laughing because the whole bench for the Olympians turned around and can hear the coaches yelling.
Like we said, that's why he plays corner and not receiver.
3rd and 10.
Quentin Ashford. You know, that's an all-conference player this year.
Odom says, do it once to me, do it twice. The Hornets almost jumped. They bring the quarters up. They look back over to the coach.
Jamari Griffin on the near side.
Odom says they are coming. They bring everybody. Throw it. They throw it. It's at the 50, but it'll bring up a 4th down.
Mark, and you just get a different vibe, different feeling from this Hornet squad here in the second half. It's like they are building off one big play after another.
Well, you see them, you know, we said on the coaches show, defensive backs, and I hope Corey Neyland heard it because I referred it to him. They're ball hawks, Corey Neyland. That's the best way to call these defensive backs. Good defensive players, but boy howdy, they smell the ball when it's in the air. Hornets feeling it here. High snap. Kick is away. End over end. And it goes out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it at. They're going to walk it up past the
17.
10. Right at the 15 they're going to call. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn. Discount markets of Fullerton. On Raymond. Between Chapman and Commonwealth. Speaking of donuts, you can get milk, you can get cheese, you can get anything you want at discount markets of Anaheim. Matter of fact, if they were still open by the time we got home, I'd stop there, but that ain't going to be the way it is, so I guess I'll stop by tomorrow.
So Cornelia is in quarterback.
And it's straight up the middle. Get a gain of 2 on the play.
And they tried that trap again with Woods. This time, San Diego Mesa read it well.
So gain of a long 1.5.
Cameron Luke, the ball carrier. Maximo Vaughn on the defense.
So Nathan Corneli at quarterback. Looks things over. 2nd down and 8. Corneli goes back. Finds a spot. Throws it in between 3 defenders all the way to 25. Corey, you saw the window. and the shade was getting pulled down on the money.
Quickly to his tight end Woods, and that was a perfect throw by Nathan. I mean, you got to split between 3 players.
Remember, going back to that Southwestern matchup, Cornelli had 2 beautiful touchdown passes that were, just like you guys described, into a perfect window. He has that ability to drop it in there.
Vakapuna now in the backfield with Cornelli. Elvis straight up the middle to the 30, gain of 5 on the play.
And there's a renewed interest on the offensive side of the ball for the Hornets.
Cornelli comes out. Michael Vakapuna stays in. Jordan Tate to the near side of the field. Gonzalez to the far side of the field. 2nd down and 5. Michael goes in. Cornelli across the middle of the field. Ball is up. And if there was anybody who was going to get it, I thought Jeremy Gonzalez might get over there and catch the rebound.
Yeah, and Chris Jackson, stride for stride, tips it away. But you see what they did. They tried to run the safety out with Vakapuna in the flat, come back over the middle. But better defense by the Olympians.
Tate stays here. Gonzalez on the other side. Vakapuna stays in the backfield. Cornelli looks. Big 3rd down play. They're crashing on the corners. They back out. They hand it straight up the middle. Vakapuna keeps running. 1st down, Hornets. That's right. The little man that shouldn't does. And he moves again. 58 yards a game he averages, Mr. Neyland, and I don't know where they come from.
And that was one of the one times Olympians blitzed.
Cornelli goes back, going deep, hangs it up, turns around, catch, in.
Jordan Tate comes down, you only need 1. The problem is he got away with a pass interference because he turns Chris Jackson around to make that catch.
You think then the Olympian parents have a right to be mad? Go back to the same man. Caught, touchdown, Hornets. No, they say he didn't catch it. How is that? How is that? Corey Neyland, they give him 1. He catches the 2nd, and they take it away.
Since we missed the first call, let's go ahead and put some makeup on that and get to that store in the mall.
2nd down and 10. Vakapuna stays back there with Cornelli. He says, what do I have to do? Take it in myself. Goes back. Takes it himself. Looks to the outside. Follows the blocker. Stays on his feet. Gets down. Should have enough for a 1st down.
But, gentlemen, if you look at it, it almost evens things out. They missed a call there. They called a no catch in the end zone.
No, they missed a halo, what they called a halo infraction. Ryan Osborn and I can tell you it was not a halo infraction.
And we were up on the outside, thought he'd hit the Olympian first, and then
the Olympian ran into the Olympian.
Right. Okay.
And it hit the guy coming in. Cornelli keeps it again after faking to Vakapuna. Gets a gain of about 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Hornets.
And it was quick. Morris was there along with Nuanez. So Morris and Nuanez did a nice job of collapsing on Cornelli.
Cornelli stays in at quarterback. See if they go back to the man who should have a touchdown. Jordan Tate said, I should have one if he's out there. Not out there. Cornelli says, I'll go back. Feels the pressure. Gets bagged. Flag comes out. Cornelli spins out. Throws it to the middle. Incomplete pass. You thought, Corey Neyland, there's a flag on the field, face mask on the far side at the 15.
I can't tell if it was Nuanez or Black who came in and grabbed Cornelli.
Personal foul, face mask, number 55 defense. After this is a goal, automatic first down.
So that's going to be 1st and goal for the Hornets.
So they said neither one of those. They said 55.
Goal to go with the ball just inside the 4-yard line.
Hornets 14. The Olympians 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So they called the face mask on Premier Whitley.
Corneli comes in. Smith to the far side. C.J. Broy in the slot. Corneli, back shoulder, throws it to the defender. Nothing there. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Second down. Change the receivers out. Olympians counter. 5:38 to go. 14-7 here in the third quarter. I formation. Running into a brick wall. Dancing off the wall. Garnett Davis the third. The door was shut before it was even open.
That was a break-in. I mean, the Olympians were in the backfield at the handoff, and Garnett Davis did a wonderful job of getting 1 yard. An outstanding D.
Third down and goal. I formation again. Corneli, man wide to the left. Changes things at the line of scrimmage. Turns around, changes it again. He decides to hand off a tackle. There is nothing there. So Full Bear will come in for a field goal attempt as a stellar defensive stop by the Olympians. They'll spot it at the 10. You add 10, a 20-yard attempt with 4:20 to go here in the third quarter. Ball is spotted. Kick is up, and the kick is good. With 4:16 to go, it's now the Hornets 17, the Olympians 7, here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And with the momentum the Hornets' way, and Corneli throwing a nice ball, and you have one-on-one on the outside, you have a big receiver in Leland Smith. Even though Jackson is playing an outstanding job on the corner, with that much room, you might want to fake that handoff and give your big guy a chance to go get the ball and get you 6. But
well,
hey, 3 is better than none.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you know, Brandon Nunez threw that one, a BB to his receiver, and Corey, he only threw it 10 yards. But once his receiver caught it, he just said, you know what, no one's going to catch me. Sort of like Gabby, when you get her in her chair and she starts heading downfield, all of us would wave goodbye because none of us would catch her.
Gonna have to check on her in a minute, actually.
Gabby Neyland trying to sneak away in the top of the hill. Young is back deep for the Olympians. He's going to stand at the goal line. So Jordan Young standing right at the edge of the end zone. Young sneaks up underneath it at the 2. Crosses the 5. Cuts up the middle. Gets across the 25, and they're going to mark him down at the 28. 4:09 to go here in the third quarter.
So good news, guys. Terrence Hansbrough, the junior, is back in the ball game in the middle, along with Small, Hill, and Junior on the outside. Harm, Muhammad Hasuna, number 43 in white, are the backers, along with Biso. Jordan Little on the near side, Quentin Ashford on the far side, Grant and Kearns are the safeties.
Young and Kadar goes on the far side of the field. Corey, their top receiver, has been quiet in this game when you think about it. Nice little pass to the tight end. Coming across the middle. Nice pitch and catch to Elisaria, tight end for the Olympians.
So Brandon, the one time, got caught out of position, went for the pump fake. They're freed up Elisar for the, gain of 6.
Paget comes to the near side of the field. Double stack over there. 2nd down and 4. The Olympians run an option, and the defense decided they would be all over it. A loss of 7 on the play.
And that's Junior on the outside. They must have been watching game field because then they left one high, Grant up top. They brought Kearns down on the defensive line. That put 9 in the box. It's like they knew what was coming.
Takes it back to the original line of scrimmage where they started. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Olympians. The speed for the defense for the Hornets looks like it's now caught up there. Hornets don't look like they're bringing anybody. Going to go with a standard 4-3. Nobody walks up. They look over at Crooks. Crooks gives them a signal. They back off. Odom waits. Looking to go. Here's the pressure. Tripped down for a sack at the 11 with an ankle tackle.
Junior.
Quarterback James Odom sacked on the play by
And there was commotion from the San Diego Mesa side because Brandon pushed the receiver down. So within 5 yards, you're still supposed to be okay, but that was risking that 5-yard mark, and it looked like he might have been past that, so they get away with one.
Harrison punt formation for the Olympians.
So Hornets get good field position, maybe. They come up. They look like they're going with the block, straight up the middle. We're going to get a flag. It should be against Fullerton. Kadari Kearns picks it up on the drive. Gets hit at the 50, steps back, sidesteps, dances to the right, does a do-si-do all the way down to the 40, but that's coming back because of a flag. Another flag.
And you may end up getting offsetting here because on this left-hand side, it looks like it's going to be Ryan Odom. Or excuse me, is that Tyson Lang who's going to get called for it?
Yeah, it's either Odom or Lang.
I believe it's Ryan Odom, 6-foot sophomore out of La Mesa. Ends up talking to the official. His helmet did end up getting popped off. He talks to the official. Official kind of gives him the, okay, you know, I've heard it. And then after a little while, a little more conversation, a flag is thrown.
So the officials, the white hats talking to everybody. Garrett should get the same explanation on the other side, and that's what Garrett's talking about. He's over there talking to him. I've heard these conversations from Garrett before. Who's explaining something to me? So we have 1:53 and stoppage in play till this gets all sorted out.
And this is one I've actually never seen before. So it would have normally, without that dead ball foul, it'd be a 5-yard offside. You kick it again because Fullerton actually had good field position on the return. But with that dead ball, you're still going to kick it again.
We have 2 fouls on the play. We have illegal formation by the defense, lined up over the snapper. That penalty will be accepted. We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 10 on the defense. That penalty will be enforced. At the succeeding spot, half the distance of the goal. Replay, 4th down.
So basically, do-over.
But he called both penalties against the Hornets.
The defense, yeah.
He called them both against the Hornets.
Well, no, defense when they had on the punt, defending on the return.
Ryan looks at it the same way I do.
Yeah,
Well,
because
you're
He
both
signaled
wrong.
both towards Fullerton.
I'm right, and you're just a do-over.
Number 10's helmet came off on the last play. He must be replaced for 1 down.
So number 10,
Ryan
the
Harrison
young man from the Olympians, has been
Ryan Odom
disqualified.
for 1 play.
Ball gets knocked free, picked up by the Hornets, knocked out at the 20.
And that was the smartest play and luckiest play that a Hornet can do, because E.J. Adams picks up the loose ball as it comes down and returns it for 30 yards. Well, 25 yards on the return. They're going to call, is that a 15 yards, or they're going to call it a 5 yard?
Should be a 15-yarder.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was a halo infraction. So you can decline the penalty and take it to where the ball was ran to.
Yeah, kick that's in interference by the offense, by the kicking team. That penalty has been declined, results in a flag.
First down at the 20.
And so it was a 31-yard return. It worked out for Fullerton. Didn't quite work out for Kearns because he got belted. But they pick up the first down in good field position.
And most people don't ever see that happen. As soon as that happens, the play happens, most people stop because it's the flag.
And I don't think Adams had a choice because it bounced right back up into his gut.
Brandon Nunez comes back in at quarterback for the Hornets. First down and 10 at the 21. Little interesting times here. Nunez looks, throws it, move it all the way down to the 5, catch. Once again, throws it right on the money, and a great catch there by Leland Smith.
Chris Jackson in the first half had the Fullerton wide receivers numbers. Brandon Nunez more confidence in this second half, puts it on the numbers one more time.
Vakapuna in the backfield. Hands it off to Vakapuna. Vakapuna goes to about the 3. It's going to be second down and goal for the Hornets with 1:06 to go. So the offense, the defense, well, guys, that rhythm we talked about finally got discovered here in the second half. Nunez looks over. I formation for the Hornets. Corey Neyland, we saw this show already. Nunez keeps it himself, runs for the sideline, doesn't get there.
Heck of a play by Brandon Worsley. I mean, Nunez, that was a quarterback touchdown run, that call. But again, Worsley did a nice job of staying in his position and not getting fooled by the boot.
So the Hornets call a timeout with, as the clock's going to run down to end the third quarter. So as we come to the end of the third quarter, it's going to be the Hornets 17. The Olympians 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, Ryan Osborn, you look at the unusual third quarter, to say the least. Penalties that we haven't normally seen. Things that happen on penalties that probably none of us have ever seen.
Yeah, not only is it unusual, but you also look at the pace of play, Mark. Those first 2 quarters, we flew through. Plain and simple. It was very quick on both sides because both defenses were dominating. The clock was running. They were tackling guys in bounds, and play just continued to move on. Now here in the third quarter, you're seeing Fullerton start to get those gears moving, and I'll go beyond that. Not only have they started, this is a team in gear. You're seeing Fullerton College and the defense make big plays. You get an interception. You get a big-time pass breakup. You get that big-time sack that's a loss of 13 yards. The defense is well into this game. The offense is starting to click again. And when you're looking at it from a Hornet perspective, you're saying, okay, the adjustments at halftime, the talk at halftime changed the entire outlook of this game. If you're flipping it to the Olympian side, you're saying not only are we in this game, we need a stop here. Plain and simple. You get a stop here, you change the momentum of this entire ball game, and you get yourself right back into it.
So we'll see what happens as we head to the fourth quarter. It's the Hornets 17, the Olympians 7. Nunez brings them out. Empty backfield. Third down and goal from the 3. Timeout, Olympians.
And the reason they call that mark is because Vakapuna had lined up off to the right-hand side, and they were trying to figure out what the coverage was going to be going out to that left side, whether it was going to be a defensive back or a linebacker going out to cover him. That indecisiveness causes the timeout, and it gives an extra opportunity for the Olympians to say, okay, what package are we bringing out in case Vakapuna lines up outside the backfield?
Well, and the things you look at this too, if for some reason the Olympians start to get closer, that's one timeout that's used up now. And if the clock is ticking, the game does not get extended. It gets shortened for the offensive side for San Diego Mesa. Don't forget, no game this weekend. This is our game, so don't be looking for Corey, Ryan, or myself on Saturday. Well, you can look for us, but you're not going to find any of us because we're not going to be on the air this coming Saturday on sportsnetusa.net.
We'll be making sure that we go and find the best donuts for Ray to have next home game.
You heard that, Ray. Nunez brings them out. Third down and goal for the Hornets. Is this two-down territory? We shall see. We get a flag. Illegal procedure against the Hornets. So we move them back 5 yards. Nice crowd out here for a Thursday night. Great. A lot of people from the Fullerton area got on the road.
And it was actually Taronis and Garcia with the false start.
Third and goal from the 7-yard line.
So Levias comes out here. C.J. Broy is standing next to him. And then Sweet Hands, Jeremy Gonzalez. You go the other direction. Incomplete pass where the coverage was, and there were no receivers. Here comes the field goal team. So, movement, Ryan Osborn, down the field. And you're hoping to come away with 3 points. .55. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. With 14:51 to go, it's the Hornets 20, the Olympians 7 on sportsnetusa.net.
The all-conference performer kicker, Jonathan Faubert, is now 5 for 5 this season thus far. And speaking of other scores, Golden West trounced Orange Coast 58-9 in the Bell game. Canyons over El Camino 31-21, a final. LA Southwest and LA Valley, that's done. LA Southwest 33-0. Glendale beating LA Pierce 27-13 in the fourth. Ventura 38-23 over Moore Park in the third quarter, 3 minutes remaining. So full slate almost in this Thursday.
In the Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
Okay, just want to make sure we're on the same day, that's all.
So VRL will be kicking off.
Jordan Young back deep for the Olympians, standing at the 3.
Young beat the receive for the Olympians.
Corey checking his phone, making sure it is Thursday. Young standing back, waiting for, we get a whistle.
Delay game, kicking team, 5-yard penalty.
So everything is slowed down in this second half. In this fourth quarter, we just want to, you know what? You know why they did that? Because they want to make sure we're into Friday so they can look at Craig and go, nah, you were wrong, man. It's after 12, Friday. You guys are going to get home at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You know, it's a good turnout for a Thursday night.
It is. Don't tell anybody it's Thursday, though. All these people are going to be surprised. They're going to realize they got to go to work tomorrow. So we'll try it one more time. Young now walks up to the 5. The Olympians looking for that big play, something to spark a little excitement. Young comes up to the 15. Looks for an opening in the middle, gets to the 30, and that's where it's going to die. 14:44 to go in the fourth quarter. It's the Hornets 20, the Olympians 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Don't forget tomorrow night, Corey Neyland. Call a little Cypress volleyball, the women tomorrow night here on Sportsnet, USA.net. And who do they play? Your Fullerton College Hornets. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night to Chargers Live and Sportsnet, USA.net. Odom brings him out. Big first down play. See if the defense can make the stop. Off left tackle. Nice little run. Gain of 8 for the Olympians. So they're going to play it legit, keep it on the ground, then look for the opening. Burns goes to the far side of the field. Young comes to the near side of the field in the slot for the Olympians. Gain of 6, second down and 4 for the Olympians. This time Odom takes it himself. Gets a first down, moves the chains, gets up to the 45, maybe the 46. Only down by 13. Time to play. Not a big lead. Trips come to the near side of the field. Burns, who's been the big hands for this Olympian team, in the slot. Odom goes back, looks to his left, pump fakes, rolls away from pressure, feels it coming after him, flips it down the field, way out of bounds, incomplete pass.
Aggression on the outside by the Hornets to cover that because they wanted to, and San Diego Mesa's done this a lot. They run the lead receiver out to make contact with that cornerback 10 yards down the field. Ball is not in the air yet. We don't know if that's a hold or illegal use of the hands. Either way, they're trying to reach that back guy who's coming around the end, but Fullerton, aggressive, disrupts the play, and they have to throw it out of bounds.
Second down and 10 from the 45. Odom brings him back out. Once again, stack receivers on the right side. Davis goes from left to right. Odom looks to go out. They throw it. Finally, the young man who has not seen a pass most of the night, Corey, has the ball thrown to him.
His second reception today, Kadir Jope.
Get a timeout just to
C.J. Neesmith is going out of the ball game. On the rush, he tried to slow up Danny Davis on the outside, got caught up with his left hand, and his helmet comes off as well.
Okay, so a quick timeout. Third down and 7. Jope, who you thought was going to have more passes towards his direction, has not. Good defense to take away the premier receiver from the Olympians. Jope and Burns, the near side of the field. Odom at quarterback. Hornets may come up. They walk up their linebackers from the outside. Over the slot. Drop it. 40, 30. There's nobody there to stop Young. Touchdown, Olympians.
And like you said, just like that, Young picks it up from 51 yards away, and a little quick hitter allows them. Again, they clear out the middle of the field as the safety drops and the linebacker goes out. They hit up Young with a little quick hitter, and he uses his afterburners to cut this lead to 7 right now. They get the extra point.
12:47 to go. Don't go away. It's not over. Odom, a beautiful technician as a quarterback. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. With 12:47 to go. Well, the noose just got a little tighter around the offensive throat of the Hornets here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And how important was it for the Olympians defense to hold Fullerton to 2 field goals within the 10-yard line and Fullerton can't come up with touchdowns.
I mean, you mentioned that, Corey. We saw it on the previous drive for Fullerton where they were clicking all the way up until they got inside the 5. It happened the previous time before that. And you look at that Olympian defense, Corey, you got to give credit to the defensive line. They kept their spacing very well and were able to take up as much of the O-line for Fullerton as possible. It gave their linebackers a chance to come in and plug those holes because of how well they were able to set those gaps.
And these are the top 2 red zone offenses percentage-wise in the SCFA.
Kadari Kearns, Jeremy Gonzalez back deep for the Hornets. All standing at the 1-yard line. 12:47 to go. Well, anything can happen because we just tightened this up. Kearns backs up and says, oh, nice kick. I'm going to let it go. And the Hornets will get that touchback. Well, now it's up to the offense to find something. And guys, to both of you, Corey, Tori, I'm going to go back to you, and I know I keep harping on this, but our tight ends get lost in their offensive sets.
Well, they haven't been lost today. 1 touchdown to Haugen, 2 runs and a couple runs for Woods and a couple passes to Woods. I don't think they've been lost in the offense. You would just like to see them utilized more, as we all would.
Levias comes out along with Gonzalez on the near side of the field. First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 25. Nunez pump fakes, going deep, has a man open. Caught, pulled in at the 35.
Leland Smith has had a heck of a second half, his 3rd catch and 1 touchdown.
Mark him at the 40. First down and 10 for the Hornets. Nunez brings him back out. Hurry up offense. Has it back. Going back the same direction. Back shoulder. Caught again. First down and 10. So when you're hot, you're hot. Stay with the hot hand. Smith back-to-back catches. Move it up to the 20. Levias. Near side of the field, C.J. Broy inside of it. Gonzalez there. Nunez comes up. Hands it off the middle. Garnett Davis, the 3rd, gets a gain of maybe 3.
Handoff, Garnett Davis.
Corey Neyland counting the yardage to tell us how much in the air so far for Brandon Nunez.
Oh, well, on this drive, 2 for 2, 58 yards. But again, he had nice rhythm on the throws, and let's see if he has Garnett Davis the 3rd on the outside if everybody's coming around the goal line.
Second down. He goes. Here comes the pressure. He takes off across the middle. Touchdown, Fullerton College. Right there, right on the money, and that was to C.J. Broy. C.J. Broy comes over, and Nunez throws a dart to C.J. Broy.
You wasn't lying on a dart. I don't know how he got that through. I mean, there was everybody surround him, and through the haze, the dart comes through.
I thought he was going to run, honestly.
I thought that was picked off.
Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. With 11:12 to go, it's now the Hornets 27, the Olympians 14 on SportsNetUSA.net.
4 plays, 75 yards, 6 points. Tack on 1 for 7. 27-14, a little bit better for the Hornets, but now they got to come up on defense. But again, go back to that throw. As we all thought he was running.
I did, yeah.
And he had the lane, too. That was the thing, is that he had it open on the right-hand side. It would have been an easy 7-8 yards.
I'll ask you, does that go to the growth of Brandon Nunez's command of the offense?
Yeah, I like the fact that he kept his head up. He didn't just keep his head down, and all of a sudden he knew before he got there, all of a sudden things opened up in the middle. And you know what he did, Ryan? He doesn't think. He just zipped the football, and it goes back to our conversation of what you talked about earlier. If he just throws the ball, it's there.
And what's interesting too, Mark, is last year's Brandon Nunez would have been indecisive on whether he was going to tuck it or throw it. You see only a 2 to 3 yard gain. In this situation, like you mentioned, he makes the decision and goes with it.
Nice little pickup on a ground ball down the third baseline. In case you're the Dodgers or the Angels and you want to move on in the, I'm sorry. That's right. Neither one of them are in the playoffs, are they? A little confused here. I thought we had Major League Baseball teams in our area.
You do. Lake Elsinore, Rancho Cucamonga.
So the Olympians come out. Let's see if Odom can come back again, Corey Neely, because it didn't take long for him to get a drive. Olympians come out. Odom goes back, looking, feels the pressure. Once again, ball is dropped, has his receiver over. Young can't hold on to it.
Young makes that catch the last time, score 6. This time he drops it. And Mark, you know how we were saying about these Thursday night games? Could be better. Well, the Big E loves these Thursday night games. Eric, how you doing, my brother? Hope you are well.
No ice? No ice? What's there a thaw going on right now?
No, he
He's
loves
at
these
home?
Thursday night games because he has the opportunity to watch them.
There you go. Thank you, Eric Pesolano. Odom drops it off to Davis. Davis goes up the middle, gets a gain of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Olympians.
You know, I've been watching their show, Eric and the Laser. Of course, that's not the actual name of the show, but I like watching them talk hockey.
Is that Chuck the Laser LASIK?
You got to do your sound effects.
Chuck the Laser. Well, that's Chuck being a laser. Okay. Davis flips from right to left. That's where the strength of the formation goes. Odom goes back. Here come the Hornets. He gets grabbed. He gets away again. He steps outside, but this time the ball comes out. It's on the ground. Hornets come away with it.
And that's Biso C.J. Neesmith again, caused the fumble.
Recovery by number 29, Jawan Grant.
And that was Biso again who forces the fumble. I mean, when you talk about all conference performers this year, Biso is one, McNeely is the other on defense for sure.
Chris Harm, too, with the work that he's done in the running game, too.
And we said they might be the best linebacking unit in the state of California.
Brandon Nunez brings the team back out quickly. So Nunez could seal the deal. 1st down and 10, right at the 35. A turnover. The defense has a couple of them. Nunez feels the pressure, takes off running, gets a positive goal on this as Nunez gets accidentally trampled on. We're going to mark him down at the 28. Guys, you look at the turnovers. Ryan Osborn, defensive backs do it. Defensive line does it. It's Brian Crooks and the defense getting the turnovers when they need them.
Yeah, and you're seeing the reliance on the defense, and they've come up too. It's one thing to trust your defense, and it's one thing to see your defense come up for you, and they've done exactly that.
Michael Vakapuna goes down to tackle, turns in quickly, makes that sharp left-hand turn, gets a gain across the 30. We'll see where they actually spot it.
Go back over the last 2 years. Canyons twice. Golden West game last year. Saddleback game last year as well, where you're looking at the defense and saying, hey, we need something. Give us something. And the defense or special teams does exactly that.
Big 3rd down and 3. Nunez says, I'm not going to give it to Vakapuna, and he gets swallowed up in the backfield. So it's going to move it back to, and I want to see where they spot it, Corey, to even think if they're going to stay out there or bring Faubert. They're going to stay out there on 4th down and along 7. So we'll see what happens. The Hornets are going to roll the dice. Bakapuna in the backfield. Nunez almost gets them to jump, looks over to the sidelines. Garrett Campbell calls something. Nunez steps back over. Looks, across the middle of the field. Thought he had Gonzalez. Gonzalez could not get it because of the angle of the route.
Yeah, Gonzalez stops. He should have kept going. Nunez was leading them. That grade wouldn't be good. Do you know who gives out grades? Eric and Chuck.
Do they?
Yeah, the report card is where they give those grades at.
Yeah, well, you know what? It'd be nice if they gave out hockey tickets. Some of us, need them over the years. You still listening to me, D? 10% of 15 years is, boy, man, I tell you what. Just get me a carnival wheel with the tickets on it.
I believe the exact term, Mark, is muchos tickets.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You know who's going to the game with me. Corey, Gabby, and Ryan. So that tells you how many I need every game for the next 20 games.
So Mark was the one actually coming in hot on that one.
That's it. That's it.
No, but but check them out. They do a really good job. Actually, they do a great job.
8:07 to go. Well, if you're now the Olympians, you need to strike quickly in the game. 27-14. You're only down by 13. You want to get into that 6-point range. Realize they used a timeout up.
And watch those out routes again.
Odom goes back. Empty backfield. Looks things over. Here come the Hornets. 4-man rush. Odom, middle of the field. Gets it to Young. Young looks to find somebody. Gets across the 40. Might have made it. See where they spot it? They move the chains. First down.
And that's been their best play tonight. Clear everyone out of the middle and try to exploit the safeties that come out. Tackle made by DeJuan Grant.
Jordan Young, again, doing things. Burns comes off. Was the hot hand in the first half. Sort of has lost the momentum, but Odom hasn't. He's had a good day against the Hornets. Odom looks things over. The Hornets jump. So it's a free play. Going down deep. Interception, but it will not count. Take it back. The Hornets jumped. The Olympians reacted to it.
So Quentin Ashford gets the pick, but like you say, Mark, it's coming back.
And you get Kadari Kearns talking to the bench.
And if you're still up in Alabama, you gotta love it.
So they move it 5 yards. The parents want more because of the conversation going on. They're not going to get it. Odom goes back. Odom looks. Here comes the pressure. Throws out in the flat. It's going to get out at the 50. So you're trying to get it going. A lot of conversation. Tindall makes the catch. Flag on the play.
And Junior Kennedy's coming out. And you got to wonder if he was talking a little bit too much.
Personal foul, number 44 defense. 15-yard penalty, added to the only run. First down.
So it's going to move it all the way across down to the 38. 7:17 to go. Hornets 27. Olympians 14. This game is not a done deal. The envelope's sitting there with the check in it, but nobody's mailed it yet. Big first down at the 40 for the Olympians. Let's make it the 38. Odom with an empty backfield. Hornets haven't brought the pressure we saw earlier. They walk up now. Here they come. Asked it for it. Odom gets hit. Ball down the middle of the field. Incomplete pass. And the quarterback loses his lunch, his breath, and maybe next weekend on that hit.
And that's the one thing. They had man-to-man zero coverage on it for Fullerton. Neesmith on the prowl. Doesn't have time to step into throw and doesn't have time to get that rhythm because Young, the speedster, had a step.
So it's going to bring up a second down and 10 at the 38. Davis still in the backfield. Otis is looking. Now they walk up. The Hornets walk up, then hand backs off. They come up at the corners. Let's see again, Corey Neyland, if everybody comes with them. Looks like they will. They back off. Four-man rush. Again, quarterback is just leveled when he lets go of the football.
And there's Neesmith and Kennedy again.
So Odom's getting to know everybody on that defensive line. Third down and 10. 6:56 here in the fourth quarter. The Hornets 27. The Olympians 14 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Big third down play. Any gain of yardage, I expect them to keep the offense on the field. They walk up the linebackers. They back them off. They walk them up again. Big four-man rush. Quarterback is sandwiched. I tell you, talk about a meatless sandwich. That's a meatless sandwich.
And that's Neesmith one more time, Junior Kennedy there to pick up, but that's going to be a full sack for CJ. And Odom lost the ball. Was he down first?
He was indeed down first, yeah. He had his right knee down on the floor before that ball pops out.
So they keep the offense on it because the clock is working against them.
Tough kid.
Big fourth down. Can't give up over 20 yards on the play. If you do, and Odom doesn't get anything. That's another sack. And it'll be first down and 10 for Fullerton with 6:07 to go here in the fourth quarter.
And that's going to be Eric Hill.
6 sacks tonight?
By my count, it should be 6.
Okay. I didn't know if you guys were keeping track.
We were not, so 5 or 6. We can say 6, sounds better.
Okay, I like it.
And guys, once again, want to thank everyone who's watching with us across the Hornet family, Olympian family as well. Welcome you here to SportsNetUSA.net and San Diego Mesa. We appreciate you following along on this Thursday night.
Brandon Nunez comes out, goes back, throws it to Garnett Davis III. Garnett gets away, stays on his feet, turns, chugs his way up to the 50-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play.
Pass complete.
Yeah, I want to thank Eric Pessolano for that block of tickets he's sending me here on SportsNetUSA.net.
We want to thank Eric, and again, a lot of thank you to the love we get from Alabama, also Houston, Texas, Cedar Falls, Ontario, Oregon as well.
Wait a minute, Cedar Falls is next to the city of Ontario?
No. Two
Oh,
different
okay.
things.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Brandon Nunez says, I don't know where it's at. Garnett Davis III says, I don't know where it's at either after that play. It's going to bring up a third down for the Hornets at the 50. We're at the 5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. One more first down could do it for your Fullerton College Hornets. Ryan, Corey, the old guy, Gabby, we're all here at San Diego Mesa, happy to bring you these games, always on SportsNetUSA.net. Nunez gets ready, goes back, one more big play. They're coming. He has time, throws it across. Big pitch, big catch, first down, move the chains.
Haugen, one more time. When you need that big play, that's when your tight ends have stepped up.
Big Fox comes into the chicken coop and gets a first down. Nunez throwing it on time. Clock is running, 4:23 to go. First down and 10 at the 41 for the Hornets. 27-14. Garnett Davis III tried to get to the outside. And if he does, Corey, that might be the run that breaks the season for him.
Yeah, and it closed quickly. I mean, he picks up that quick 5, but Morris is there for the Olympians along with Jaden Cortell.
Vakapuna comes back in the game. Hornets letting the clock run. Brandon quickly comes over.
Hornets, the ball at the Mesa.
3:37 to go here in the fourth quarter. Hornets looking to stay 6-0 on the season. Gives it to Vakapuna. Walks down, gets hit, turns, stumbles forward, gets down to maybe the 37.
Handoff went to Michael Vakapuna.
So Vakapuna now, it's going to be third down. One more. We're at the 3-minute mark here on SportsNetUSA.net. Brandon Nunez with Vakapuna next to him. Looks like they're coming, goes back over to the sideline. 4 on the play clock. 3, 2, 1. We're going to get a timeout by Fullerton College. So with 2:41 to go here on SportsNetUSA.net, the Hornets up by 13 look like they'll continue their undefeated season. Ryan Osborn, an interesting 6-0. The defense has been good. Special teams has been exciting. If this offense ever gets it going from first to last, this will be a hard team to beat this year.
You know, I'll take the contrary, Mike. I think that they're not necessarily last. I think what you're looking at is the flashes of brilliance. You saw it on that 2-play drive, touchdown instantaneously. You get a turnover, 1 play, you're in the end zone. Then you saw them have an 8-play drive where they were able to get themselves over towards the end zone. This is an offense that has those flashes of brilliance. It's a matter of can they get it clicking all at the same time. You see them have 3 straight drives that are excellent, unguardable, uncatchable. And then you see them have 3 straight drives where they're tripping over their own feet. I think that they have the ability to be spectacular. They just got to get it going consistently. Consistency is the biggest key for them.
Give it to Marco Vakapuna. Doesn't get there. So in other words, they're like a 72-year-old man calling ball games on SportsNetUSA.net. Sometimes he's brilliant. Sometimes he's stumbling. Sometimes he's forgetful as all get out. At the end of the day, everybody loves him.
Exactly. It's like the play-by-play guy walking over to the camera. Little stumble, little bumble, but he's able to do it and call the play-by-play too.
There we go. The impossible does happen occasionally on SportsNetUSA.net. 2:35 to go. Fourth down. Corey Neyland, Gabby Neyland, Ryan Osborn. Don't forget Ryan on the Coaches Show on KBPK. He has summed up what the season looks like halfway through. And make sure you check it out with all the great guests. I tell you what, from water polo to volleyball to lacrosse, all the different teams around the area. Ryan's always getting somebody very interesting on the Coaches Show on KBPK. There goes Big Donnie. He's looking happy, walking down with his headset still on. He's decided to call it a day. Fourth down. 2:36 to go. Nunez. Quick kick. Little pooch shot. Side of a thing. Takes the bounce in favor of the Hornets, and it's going to die. Right there at the 20. So it'll be first down and 10 at the 20 for the Olympians. Need to find a little miracle with 2:27 to go here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan, Corey, and Gabby. We'll see what happens the next 2:27.
Have you noticed a rise in the quick kick lately in community college football? Because it feels like you would see it on occasion, maybe once or twice a season, but now we're seeing it once or twice, maybe every week.
Yeah, it really is. It's rather amazing that they'll do that. Corey Neyland finding his way back home here on SportsNetUSA.net. Odom says, I'm going back without Corey. I'm going deep without Corey. Intercepted, intercepted, intercepted. You can hear it upstairs. You can hear Corey Neyland. I blame you. You didn't put your headsets on. If they would have been on, it would have been an interception. It's all on you, Mr.
We
Neyland.
talked to Kadari before the game. We said, your brother got one last week. He said he was getting one tonight.
Almost. 2nd down and 10. Odom goes back. Says, I missed that one. I'm going to crank it up again. And he said, whoa, wait a minute. Do we know each other?
My name is Brandon. What's yours?
I can't remember. I've been hit so many times tonight.
Mark, Corey, I do want to give a lot of credit to Odom in this game. He has managed the game really well. He has excellent athleticism. We saw it in the first half. He looked electric, especially his first 4 rushes.
And this is the issue the Olympians have had in the first 5 games of the season. Once they get to the second half, they haven't been able to sustain.
3rd down and 1.5 miles for the Olympians. Odom looking for something. He's going to try one more time. Rolls out. Here comes the pressure. He's going to stop. Fling it up the middle of the field. Corey Neyland going up and catching the football. And there's a defender that waited for the ball to come to him. And the receiver just said, it belongs to me.
It was a better play by the receiver. I think Kadari Kearns was going up to get the ball. But again, Paget did a nice job of going at the highest point, like you said, and taking it away.
So Odom, big pass. 1st down, 10 to 40. They're refusing to lose. He goes back. Sack number 8 in the game for the defense. 1:19 to go here in the 4th quarter. And the defense just continues to knock on the door.
At the Hornet 47-yard line.
So that's 2 dropped picks for the Hornets tonight.
Yep.
8 sacks.
We're going to get, let's see if it's timeout. Fullerton. So with 1 minute to go, almost like in water polo, we get a timeout to extend the game for another few minutes here on sportsnetusa.net.
Just going over the fact that they're still 2 touchdowns away, but we've seen strange things in minutes of games.
If anybody ever wants to hear about stories about somebody thought a game was over, any of us 3 knew we had a victory, and then for the next 2-hour ride home, we didn't listen to the radio. We talked football, and it was not in glowing terms.
Eric's been a part of that conversation as well.
Yeah, so it's the Hornets need to finish this out. And, yes, I agree with the guys. Odom has played a heck of a game. A good young quarterback. Takes a beating, and I like what he does. What Corey Neyland always tells you, if you're going to get hit, young man, throw a touchdown. And he is that sort of quarterback you'd want in your team. Goes back, takes off running, has quick little feet, flips it short, gives it to Davis. Davis gets up to the 40, gets taken down there. So Davis gets there. We're under a minute. 3rd down and 11. Odom comes back up. Davis in the backfield. They come again. Odom throws it the other side. Interception number 3 dropped here in this one. So Corey Neyland says they should have had 3. Dropped 3. Easily should have had 3. 4th down and 11. And, of course, Phil Austin is going to say as they go deep, all by himself, in there, knocked away at the last second. Corey Neyland's going to say miss number 4 here in the 4th quarter with 21 seconds. But that's going to bring it. Ball turned over, and the Hornets will walk away in the season 6-0 right now here on SportsNet USA.net.
First and 10, Fullerton.
The Olympians played well, but the Hornets woke up in the second half and played much better here on SportsNetUSA.net. They'll let the clock run out when the offense steps on the field, take a knee, and that should take us to the end of the game as the Hornets look to walk away with a 27-14 victory over the Olympians and allow themselves to go 6-0 as we continue the season. Victory formation for the Hornets. Nunez steps up and drops the knee. We want to thank everybody here at San Diego Mesa for being so kind to us. Want to thank San Diego Mesa for allowing us to be here and for being very, very generous to Corey, Ryan, Gabby, and myself. The Hornets come away with a 27-14 victory over San Diego Mesa. You've been watching Fullerton College football on SportsNetUSA.net.